Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody. We are here readying up for the next MEGA16 race number 7 on Sega Crew. Together with me, we have Cypher and commentating. And yeah, go ahead.
Oh, forget. Hey, everybody. Thank you, Mother Brain.
You're welcome. So we have a very exciting race here coming up. We have a lot of participants this time around who have all practiced a lot for this race. A couple of people could not make it because of, sickness or whatever, any personal issue. But we got some really, really talented races here, readying up for hopefully another very awesome race. We got 16 games lined up. I think there is a command for the race that you can see what games we have, which is, I think, ! race list. Then you will see all the games. You can also see them here right on the screen. People are readying up, so I guess we are almost good to start. Do you want to add something here too, Cypher?
Yeah, I am totally pumped. I'm sad that I couldn't take part in this. I feel like, Mother Brain, you've put on these MEGA16s for quite some time now, and every time I wanted to join, let me look around, make sure I don't get judo chopped by my wife. It's like something has come up, in terms of getting married or a honeymoon or something else. But it's like, damn it, I keep missing. I keep missing the MEGA16. But this time, I'm taking part, at least providing commentary, and I'm grateful to be here to be joined next to you to do this. So yeah, pumped. Everybody get excited. You're gonna see some great stuff here today.
Absolutely. Well, maybe next time, you get your honeymoon, you get your marriage, everything is over right now. So now, next time we can join.
I hope so. She'll find something else. Yeah. I'm going to try my best to dodge it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, some things are more important than just joining the race, of course. So as you can see right here, we got JKL on screen, Zoopman, Narblast, Shah, Random64, EMS, EMTS, and FedUp. Don't forget to follow these awesome people and/or tune in to their own channels. Just to cheer them on or send them a good luck, because all these names are their Twitch handles as well, except for Zoopman, which is a little longer, but it doesn't fit.
Okay, looks like there's
let's give it a countdown here, I guess, for the tech crew who's also listening.
Okay, we're good.
So
now I'm just going to be waiting on.
Started. Now I have to mention that
JKL
and Zoopman, who are on the top left here on the screen, have identical PBs when it comes to all the games. They have, I think it was like 2 hours.
The big thing for me right now is I need to remember
for all the
difficulty
games, so they'll be very excited between those two. But that doesn't mean that all the other players, there's all good races, so anything can happen, and they're all fantastic speedrunners.
Yeah, that's crazy how close their PBs are with this, considering the challenge that these games provide.
Once the race room starts,
I'm
gonna start.
To me, it's near and dear in my heart.
So we get there's a 15-second, on the race page. There's like a 15-second countdown.
The kind of
I'm gonna start when that goes to 0.
It's gonna be really interesting to see how close the times.
And then if my timer doesn't go, then I'll start.
How well our racers will do today.
Absolutely. We'll be very, very excited to see.
Once that timer goes down.
Did Shah already start? Did they get the countdown?
No, I don't know why Shah is already playing, but maybe he's just warming up a little bit.
Gotta warm the hands up. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta feel a little bit.
Just as a start, my Blades of Vengeance is going to be bad.
It's the next one.
All right, so with a little bit of a technical thingy going on, of course, but we're starting pretty soon.
Yep.
Everything else.
Up first.
Even our Streets of Rage, we learned the Streets of Rage fights. We learned at least two of the boss
we have
fights.
The command, the race list command, so you can pull up all the games. But just as a reminder, the goal for this is beat the game. So the time will begin when we get all set up here. The time will begin on character select, and then the time ends when the screen goes black after the final boss. Also, a thing to note is that they can pick any character, and warps are allowed. So let's see how the racers use that today.
Yeah. Yeah, but the first game is luckily quite short.
Well, it's on easy, so you can shoot basically everybody.
As you will see
if you don't know what you're doing.
I wonder which ones they will pick. I assume many.
Since it's on easy mode,
what's it called, the barbarian
you don't take damage if you shoot someone without a gun.
The female protagonist will.
So literally, you just kind of hop and shoot the whole time as you're going forward.
When it comes to walking, I believe. And when I was practicing it as well, I just picked her, and her attacks are good. And yeah, the final boss can be a little scary. So let's see how that's gonna be.
Mm-hmm. And again, thank you everybody that's tuned in right now. We're working through some slight technical difficulties, but they'll be resolved very shortly here, and the race will get going.
Yeah.
Motherbrain, if I can ask, what game on this list are you? Is there any game that you're most excited for?
Most excited.
Okay, I think I worked everything out on my end. So if you guys are ready,
yes, you do it. Start the race. Let's go.
Go.
Yeah, let's go. Most excited about. I actually really like Micro Machines.
Okay.
I wonder how that's gonna go.
Okay, cool.
And Generations Lost is another one that nobody has really run. But here we go. We got 3 seconds to go. Race is about to start. Let's see what's gonna happen. Good luck, have fun. Here we go.
Good luck. Let's go. Get hype, chat. Let's go.
Yeah, this will be good. This will be very good. There we go. All right, people are starting up. That's a 15-second delay for the people that are racing, that are on. We're using racetime.gg for registration, and that just takes a little bit. But here we go. We're starting. As you can see, everybody so far has picked the same character. EMTS is not quite sure that we have started the race already. So maybe somebody can tag him that the race has started. But there you go. As you can see, many people are just jumping over the lava, taking a bunch of damage boost, because there's a lot of potions in this game that will make this run a little safer than it is. But I can see JKL is taking the safer route, which is not a bad idea. I mean, you can save up on some potions and make sure that, once you get to the final boss, because the final boss can be very trolly if you get some bad luck, to just take this route instead. So he's a little bit behind over the others, but it's still very, very early in game, and you gotta take some safeties, and I don't blame him. As you can see, Narblast dying there and resetting the whole game.
Oh,
looks like he took some fall damage.
And also EMT, forgive me, I'm gonna butcher his name. Which is just a little slight screen hiccup there, but as you can see, they're in the race here. We're moving forward, proceeding forward. Seems to be has some nice movement as well. Just watching their screen.
Yeah. As you can see, all the people, Sha and JKL, are all going through the secret warp in between quotes to access via the first level. You just walk all the way to the right to the final door. They buy a bunch of items you will have to use in the later stage, which include the transform and the... what is it called again? It's like it's sort of a different transform, but it just kills enemies. And there's an invincibility scroll as well that they will be using just to bypass a lot of enemies. I think it's the ring of something that will kill a certain enemy in this stage too.
The game I don't have much experience with, but I wish I had played this as a kid. Seems like it's a really fun game. A lot of options in terms of the items that you can use. I've only played, of course, as the character that everybody else here is using. So I am curious, what advantages those other characters might have over this character too. But this was a great starter game for the Mega 16 here.
Thank you. Yeah, it's also not too hard to pick up. It's just like hard to master when it comes to the menuing, because this is a platform with a lot of menuing actually, which can cost or save you so much time. And yeah, it's just nice and short. The only scary thing really in this game is the final boss, and everything else is just you just run through it and take a couple of hits and you should be fine. Yeah, everybody, all the same character, nothing too crazy. Seems like JKL is right on par with Sha here. Zookman not too far behind. And coming up to the final section here before they go to the final boss, and they have to go into a couple of doors to get some keys in order to open some gates, and then they can continue to the next screen again. So they have to go back and forth. Then you can go down, open this door, go to that door, get another key, until they reach the final corridor, which will be the boss.
And since everyone is taking a warp, would you know, Mother Brain, what's like the time it would take to beat this game casually? Just like what the how much of a time difference there is with the warp that they're taking versus, if you had to go through this the normal way?
I believe warpless is around 30-40 minutes, and that's a really good time casually. I've never been able to beat this full game until I learned the any % speed route. It's a pretty long game. It's very unforgiving, but luckily there's that warp right at the beginning.
Nice.
Yeah.
So even casually just picking this up, it seems like it's definitely a great game for anybody to just pick up, whether it's the speed run or to play it the normal way.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And unfortunately, Sha and FedUp actually taking a death here. While Zookman just reached the final boss of this goal first. He's going to use a lot of invincibility frames, wants those heads to go down so he can keep on smacking them until they die. And there's a sort of a glitch here where if you smash up in any direction that you're aiming at, and then mash it with the B button at the same time and then release again as fast as you can, you will do like a sort of a super attack over and over. And JKL, the first one here to kill the final boss, and Zookman is having some problems here with the head, taking a death. It was not cooperating, but he should be fine. Nothing to worry about. He's going to try again.
One difficult thing about this game is if you die, you actually lose all your power-ups, and you're a little bit weaker. So that was a very nice kill by Zookman there to be able to beat that second head.
Yeah, because the good thing is, though, like once you die, the damage that the boss has taken will remain. So it's not like the boss will regenerate another head. Like if you kill one head, I mean, he will have one head left. That's just how it is. But we got Zookman, JKL, EMSTS is a little stuck here. Tankazi again to the same guy.
We've always said IMS. IMS.
Oh, IMS? IMS.
IMS.
Okay.
Okay.
That's easier, yeah. He took a game over, though. That's quite unfortunate. I mean, he has to do it all over again, but luckily it is a quite short game. He will be fine. He will be back in the race. It's still very early.
Fetty just took a death as well here.
Oh yeah, so he has to do it again as well. Sha going at the final boss here. Well, JKL and Zookman has started the Space Harrier 2. Now, the goal for this is only beat stage 2, and that is because, Space Harrier doesn't change much when it comes to later stages, but it gets ridiculously difficult in starting around like stage 5. And, this is just a little taste of like a good old classic of what Space Harrier can be. There's a bunch of Space Harrier spins off, like Space Harrier 3D, I think, and Space Harrier CD also exists. But this is the one that was on home console. And it's a good one. It's fun. And 2 stages is more than enough. So what do you think of Space Harrier 2, Cyphern?
I actually haven't played this one a lot. I think I played more of the first Space Harrier, and I love the the main theme in Space Harrier 1. I like that there's a song out there for it. Occasionally I have to pull it up and I just listen to it, and I also have my own lyrics for the first Space Harrier theme. But yeah, this is, I feel, a definite Sega staple. Like it makes so much sense that it's here in the Mega 16. So like and also to me, at least for my eyes just sort of can't handle all the craziness happening. I use a lot of reflex, but I like to be able to watch others to see how they handle it. And I'm like, wow, that, like, looking at JKL and Zoogman here, I'm usually really frantic, just on the screen doing the figure 8, whereas they're like, I'll just move a little to the left, a little to the right, and it's just like, how's that working for them? How are they living?
Yes. I mean, it can be a little hard on the eyes, this one. It does move fast, and especially the part where JKL is now. It's a frantic game, and you're not wrong. I mean, later stages are very difficult. But luckily for them, just 2 stages. And, I used to speedrun Doom, so I can handle frantic screens for the most part. But yeah, JKL coming up to the boss. The goal is this sort of a wizard guy with a couple of balls around him. You're going to try to shoot those balls as fast as you can. Try to dodge the missiles as well at the same time. And he should be down. He will come back next time. Like, once you have killed all the balls, he will just stay right in front of you. You can just mash him down, and like right here. And
yeah, that's really creepy when he just goes up on you.
It is kind of creepy, yeah. Hey there, Death Devil, how are you doing? So it seems like the 4 runners here are... I mean, Random64 actually the only one who picks a different character, which is interesting. But the rest is still with the same character, but they all took a game over, so they all have to play the game again. While Gnarblast is also into Space Harrier, while JKL was actually moving on to the 3rd game, which is NBA Jam.
He's on fire!
Yeah, JKL is strong. No, NBA Jam is just beat one player. What am I saying? The head-to-head one player, right? That's what it is. I forgot what the goal exactly says.
It's a single game victory. Time begins when head-to-head is selected. Time ends when final score is shown. Any team, no unlockable characters.
Exactly. And the unlockable characters are very overpowered, and this is why we decided not to have those in. They can pick the easiest difficulty with the fastest gameplay, which will make the game a little faster. And yeah, the strat here, for the most part, as you can see that JKL is doing, they're just waiting for the timer to run out. Hope they can steal the ball back from the CPU, so they don't have to waste time by seeing them score. And, once the timer almost runs out, they go for a 3-pointer and rinse and repeat. And then you will beat the game as fast as you can.
I have a slight funny story for this game. I don't know if people in the States remember the Blockbuster Championship. I did that, and I won in my area, like my local area. But then I went to like the statewide championship, and I was nervous to begin with. But then I got there and I saw this. My first, competitor was this little kid. They had to look like they were like 5 years old. That 5-year-old stomped me in the ground so bad in this game. Just as they're doing the speedrun strats here to, like, snatch the ball away from the computer and just keep, getting in shots as quickly as possible. That kid just mowed me down.
That's nice. Wow. I mean, I had a similar experience, but it was just like actual sports. It was not basketball. And I was winning, and then I also got punched in the groin. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe sports is something that you want to punch somebody in the groin, apparently.
Maybe.
A ball game, I mean, I get the similarity, but... But okay, JKL is not doing too bad here. He got a shot clock violation, so that's a waste of a little bit of time, but that's not too bad. Sha, in the meantime, is struggling with the harpoon guy. Yeah, I also had a lot of problems with this guy. I had like a certain setup that I didn't have to copy the speedrun because I just couldn't do that as they are trying to do. And it seems like Sha is also having some problems with him. Narblast, in the meantime, going already to NBA Jam. I totally missed that he played Space Harrier too, but he did. And he's now not too far behind.
Very nice.
All right, Sha finally getting up there, getting the essential key that he needs there, uses a potion, very smart, and then hopefully he can also move on for his second ride to the boss and move on to Space Harrier 2. Oh, Random 64 finishing up as well, very nice. Moving on to Space Harrier 2 as well, same for M-Sense, right? I did it.
You did it. You got it.
I got it. So that's good. So we only have Sha here, who needs to finish up this game, and then it's always the first one that really sometimes can take you. Well, not down, I would say, but it's a lot of stress. You start the race and. You can panic a little bit, and it will feel fantastic for Sha to be like, it's over. Now I can relax and play the rest of the games and test.
Yeah, so true, though. That first game jitters is a thing.
Yeah. From downtown. I don't know what teams they picked, but I have no knowledge of NBA or basketball.
Yeah, we got it's a mix. So like Narblast, I saw Orlando, LA Lakers.
Yeah, I picked the Hornets when I was playing, because that was a pretty good team for 3-pointers. But
for me, it was always the Bulls, but that's I'm Chicago born and raised, so
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But there we go, Sha finally did it, no problem for him. Had a little trouble there with the end, but he managed to pull through, so he can move on to the next game as well. Very nice.
Very, very nice. Let's go.
All right.
All right. I think JKL is through the first quarter, it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, it is. It is a little hard to see too.
Yeah. Oh, it's the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in the past.
Yeah. So he's almost done. Almost done. Zuckman with the fake. Jumping in the sky and then passing it to the other.
And then they ripped the ball away. Oh, but he got it back.
Yeah, I stole it.
Okay, let's see. All right. Yeah, Zoog's in fourth quarter as well. Narblast just hit halftime.
Very good. Very close to each other.
Base Hair M's is just got killed by the evil, creepy second boss. But holding on.
Yeah, he got him.
Very nice. So M's is moving on to NBA Jam.
Let's go. Meantime, Fedeb is coming up to the boss of Blades of Vengeance. Let's all cross our fingers for him.
You got this, Fetty. Do it! Do it!
Come on, get that first head down. Almost one more hit, I think.
Got a healing potion, though.
Yeah, I got one.
Oh.
Invisibility. Oh. Be careful. Smacking him down. Doesn't quite know about the glitch, I think, because he's just using the slow attack, basically, but he got one more force field.
Yes, one head down.
There's one more.
Come on.
That second one can be a trolley, but he got a lot of healing potions, so he should be fine. There we go. Very nice.
Yes, there we go.
All right. Good. So Fedep has also passed the first game nerfs, so that's very good. In the meantime, JKL starting up one of the best games on the list right here. The Berenstain Bears. Not to be confused with the Berenstain Bears, as the Mandela effect does to many people.
I swear it's Berenstain. I'm sticking to it.
It's okay. Like the Monopoly guy having a monocle. I mean, also not true.
What? No way.
Yeah. It does not have a monocle.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that one up. That's lies.
Yeah. If you Google him, you'll find no monocles except for Ace Ventura 2, where he's like, I'm the Monopoly guy when he's like mocking the guy. That's only one who has a monocle.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that one up right after this race here.
Yeah, sure.
But staying focused.
Exactly.
I did this game. I don't entirely remember it too much, but this was one of my Sega Channel staples. I got to play this on the Sega Channel back in the day.
We did. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a game as it is, and you know, if you hear the name, you would not be as excited. Not from here at least. And then again, we didn't even have the Berenstain Bears here back in Europe. The game really looks very nice, very colorful, good graphics, and you know, it's actually quite a quality game, if you ask me.
No. I'm taking it in at the moment. I'm looking at the platforming, like what Zoog is doing here. It does look fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while for me, but yeah, seeing the platforming, yeah, it looks interesting. Like, we're definitely worth checking out for sure if you've never played it before.
Yeah, it's I mean, it might not be the most solid game, obviously, and it's a kids game, but it is quite easy, and the speedrun is actually very optimized. So none of these people did break the world record in this, but you know, it is a easy to pick up speedrun, but hard to master.
Okay. And yeah, take a quick look at the goal sheet here again. It is beat the game easy.
Yeah. Up tier game, yeah, it is. Absolutely is. Random 64 flying right into that hole. Final life, so he has to be careful here. Sha and Ems are just, you know, having a good time here with some basketball. But, you know, JKL, Zoogman, and Narblast are quite close to each other. Just a couple of stages between them. So, yeah, I mean... And Zoogman and JKL did have that similar PB, so those two... Because they didn't have the best PBs in the same games. So, like, he had, like, the gold ones in this one, and Zoogman had the better one in that, and then JKL had the better one in this, so... I expect them to go back and forth throughout the whole race, so this should be very exciting between those two.
Mm-hmm. And going back for a minute to Random 64, how you made mention he had basically no lives. He earned an extra life and then died, so it was very close to game overing here. But they made it through and are moving on to NBA Jam.
Cool.
Yeah, that was definitely clutch. That was really cool. Great job, Randall.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Whoa, what is happening? Here. What was happening on Zoog's screen there? They were like off screen.
Yeah, I don't know. This is one of the games I did not practice or try.
Oh.
So I'm not sure what happened. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's zips in this game, but I'm not entirely sure about this. Maybe Booster knows, but...
Weren't you just endorsing this game?
Sure, but I don't know about the zips.
No, I'm unfamiliar with the zips. From the speedruns I watched, I did not see any zips, so this might be new tech.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Or maybe Cypher is just going crazy.
That is a high possibility here. I'm not too far from crazy.
All right, well, you're still off of it, so... All right, Zoogman moving through, no problems so far. TKL doing good too. Narblast jumping his way. M's basketballing his way. So yeah. But the start of this race is like, getting into the groove, not crazy hard games. But it will get harder. It will get harder.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So what is your game that you look forward to most, or is your favorite game on this list?
Well, there's 3 actually. I think it's no surprise to some that I've been singing the praises of Tasmania. Tasmania probably is my number 1. I have a thing, I guess, for nostalgia, and it definitely has. I love the cartoon. I love the dad drinking talking about the OJ and all that, and then just the game itself. I was fascinated by the spin mechanic, and it just seemed like you're totally impervious, nothing can hurt you, and then you play the game and you're like, oh my god, these jumps. Like there's these stages with these blind jumps and you just end up in a pit, and that's the part that probably even more than like there's a infamous stage, the minecart stage, that people, especially our runners here, have grown to. I'll say they've grown to love it. I don't know if that's true, but the jumps in that game used to just that would drive me crazy. But I still love that game. But that's probably the first and foremost. But then Generations Lost, as well as Dick Tracy, have a special place in my heart too.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised by how good Dick Tracy is. Because it has some similarities with a game that I used to speedrun on the NES with Codename Viper. Just go. It has a little bit of this, but it also has a little bit of the Punisher, and I also really enjoyed that game on NES. So I was like, okay, this is a nice fresh combo of those both games. So I was surprised by how good it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And way better than the NES version of Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
As well.
I mean, I did enjoy Dick Tracy on the NES. I think the AVGN has, downed that game a little bit too much by that it is, even though it's actually quite good. But yeah, the Genesis version is definitely by far better.
But yeah, looking at our runners here, both JKL and Zugman on Trampoline Terror.
Yeah, those guys are very close to each other. Stage 2 for Zugman here, Stage 4 for JKL. And this game is beautiful. It's very colorful, great music. All you have to do here is just gotta push those buttons as they're pushing with the different colors, not the trampolines that they're jumping off, but like those, what is it, like an X with a color? Mm-hmm. And once they've triggered all of them, the stage ends and you move on to the next one. And if you grab a certain order of the switches that you have to press, you can get certain power-ups, where I think the yellow one was like an extra life or something, and the other ones give a shield. But I'm not sure if any of our runners or these top runners will go for any order to get some power-ups, which can make it easier, but you want to go fast, so.
That enemy on JKL's screen, that enemy will not leave you alone. It'll chase you through the entire screen.
Yeah. The bullet bill.
Yeah, as a reminder.
You can't kill him. Oh,
no, you go ahead. You can kill him, but what?
Oh, but he will come back.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, I was just going to say, quick reminder that the goal for this is beat stage 16 for our viewers here. So then we'll get a bead on where JKL, Zugman, and also Narblast, being on Trampoline Terror, we'll get a bead on where our racers are in this game once they complete the current stage they're on.
Yep.
All right, JKL, stage 7.
Yeah, there we go. And stage 6 for Zugman. Zugman is really gaining some time here over JKL. I'm not so sure how he's doing it, but he's getting closer and closer. This is a good game. And Narblast also, even though he didn't start off well, and he actually had to reset the Blaze of Vengeance.
Yeah. That's crazy.
He's right there. But we know from Narblast from previous races that, he's won a couple, right? Of races here on the Sega crew, and same goes for JKL. So those guys are definitely experienced, and Zookman as well. Zookman is just very strong, and everybody here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Narblast, I think it may have just completed stage 4 or stage 3. Now they're on stage 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, making great progress there. Shaw, Random, and Ems doing NBA Jam.
Yes, Shant is finishing up here. Random at the halfway point, and Emst, I cannot see where he is. Oh, end of the first quarter. So, okay. Alright. TKO getting into some more complex stages.
Yeah, this is, I think, of the MEGA16 games that I was able to play. I think, yeah, this is the one I beat the goal for sure. This, of course, Dick Tracy in Tasmania. But this one definitely caught my interest when I first started playing it because I had never seen this before. And I was like, oh, wow, this is a great game. This is really fun.
Yeah, it's in my opinion, a little underrated, and I got it on my scope thanks to Janglestorm, which is a Dutch speedrunner of this game, and he picked it for me to beat, and yeah, I was like, wow, this game is very good. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
This year's Big 20 is the reason you're not in this race. Well, that's okay, GG. I mean, the Big 20 is also making his return, which is very nice.
Yep.
Also doing a lot of things for that in the background. I don't have free time anymore.
Staying busy. That's a good thing, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jangleship shout out. Absolutely, go follow him. He's a very great person, very relaxed stream, and a good speedrunner. So definitely check him out. Meanwhile, Shah going. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say JKL clearing stage 11, Zook clearing stage 9.
Nice.
And you,
I mean,
go ahead.
There are a couple of long stages though in Trampoline Terror, so it's kind of hard sometimes to see like is he actually getting or is he like going slower. But it seems like they are both doing the same strats because I saw JKL do exactly the same here in stage 9. So yeah, I think this game. Not sure if he will get closer, but hey, you never know, right? You can just fall off and die, and you got to do the stage again.
Yep. Yeah, you have to do it from. There's like no checkpoints, right? You have to do it from the beginning, recollecting the tiles.
Exactly, you got to do it all over again. And they're taking a lot of risky jumps, and, but good run it, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
I was having some action here with some Berenstein Bears. Nothing too crazy or scary about this. This should be nice and relaxing for him.
Yeah, and I'm not losing my mind this time. I don't see any disappearing bear or zipping or anything.
Yeah, no, I've also been trying to pay attention. Like, is there a zip somewhere? But there. Yeah, the top runners are in game 5. Yep, that is correct.
Yeah, just Fetty off screen right now is on NBA Jam. Narblast, not Narblast. Random is on NBA Jam as well, I think.
Yep, that's correct. They're all on the screen now. Yeah, top 3 all in the Trampoline Terror. Stage 13, stage 12, and stage 10. So all quite close to each other. Oh, I'm sorry, wait, what's it? Yeah, 13, yeah, it's kind of hard to see. And we got some NBA jammers.
There's another game like NBA Jam that I really enjoyed called NBA Hang Time. I don't know, have you ever had a chance to check that game out?
I've heard about it, but I've never played it. Like the only NBA jams or NBA games that were released were on PlayStation 1. But that's because my brother was like into it at that point. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were cool. I felt like the passing mechanic in those games was like upgraded a bit. You could do some crazy alley oops and stuff in NBA hang time.
That's nice though. I mean, I do enjoy retro sport games, so I might have to check that out then. I'm like one of the few who's happy when I have like a sport raffle and be like, yes, I'm gonna get another sport game. Yeah, I mean, NBA Jam is such a classic. I mean, obviously it's also on the SNES. I mean, we don't talk about that, but here I am. And it's just an iconic game. And while making this list, I was like, wait a minute. I think Booster Shane pointed it out to me, like, with NBA Jam, that this wasn't on here yet. So, here it is. NBA Jam. Classic. Fun. Arcade game. Very good.
Ooh, we got the backboard breaking on M's screen. Glad we got to at least see that once here today.
Yeah, that was cool. I thought too. And JKL at stage 16 is about to finish, and there we go. He has done that.
Very nice.
Time to move on to the next game.
Go Power Rangers!
Yeah, now this game I also practiced. Well, in between quote practice. I just mashed the button and I got like the best time on the list. Like, how did this happen? And I still have like third place time somehow. So I was like, okay, sure. This game is very easy. If you're terrible at fighting games like me and you're looking for a game that is actually easy but still a fighting game, here it is: Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Genesis. It is cool. I mean, it looks nice. The music is, I guess, okay. But at least it's no Mortal Kombat 2. I mean, I had Mortal Kombat 2 in a race as well, and people were furious. Well, hey, here's the easy fighting game. But yeah, basically what I think is going to happen, yeah, exactly. What JKL is doing here, there you go, that's it. That's all you have to do. And hope for good RNG. And just do this attack until they die. That's all. And then they get bigger, then you punch them, and then they get smaller again, and you do this attack again, and you win. That's all. So it's a nice, nice relaxing game. There's a couple of cutscenes, so you could take your time, get some water, or you can just move on, and win like JKL. And yes, JKL should slow down, but he's not. He's going fast. Sha, in the meantime, also getting into Trampoline Terror, while Zupan is just finishing up right here and also moving on to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Go Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. I never really enjoyed it. I watched it as a kid, but I didn't care for it. I liked, what is it called again? Beetleborgs. I like that one.
Oh, the big bad Beetleborgs.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember we are VR, the VR troopers.
Oh right, yeah, that's right. Almost forgot about those. Yeah.
Which let me plant that seed right now, since we got this game in here. Next MEGA16 VR troopers. I'm calling it.
Okay, I'm down. Please send me a reminder, and I'll send you a reminder that the Monopoly guy is not a thing.
Lies. I'm still gonna look that up. But send me that reminder too. But yeah, VR troopers.
Sure. Okay. But yeah, Power Rangers itself, like the show, I just didn't care for it, and I thought it was kind of silly when there was like a camera on the floor while guys are doing somersaults over it. I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah. I have to admit, I was a big Power Rangers fan up until a certain point, like where. Like the original cast, just like they were like, "Well, we got to move on to college." I don't know, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but they're like, "We got to move on to bigger, better things." It's like, what's bigger than saving the world? It's like,
yeah, right.
Oh, I gotta go and be an accountant now. It's like, really? All right, this show's done. I don't believe that.
That is so, yeah. Superhero status or living the regular life and being an accountant.
Yeah, no, it's like I would take a superhero any day. So that's where it fell off for me. But I used to love Power Rangers.
I mean, there's so many people that love Power Rangers, and I'm not talking it down or anything because sure, it's a great show, you know, but I was just more into other things. I think Dragon Ball Z was at the same time being broadcasted on Dutch television next to Power Rangers, so I'm gonna watch Dragon Ball Z. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, no, that was the correct choice. Right. Yeah, that's such the correct choice.
A little bit unfortunate though, like after 2 months when you're finally reaching the Cell Saga, you're like, oh yes, finally the Majin Buu Saga is coming up, and they reset the whole Dragon Ball Z again, so Raditz is back again. But you know, hey, okay, that's just what happened. But in the meantime, JKL, I mean, he is at what's her name again? The Ice Princess? I'm not so sure, but he got her. Suitman killing, I think, the second boss, and Narblast is at the first boss, all using the Black Power Rangers. Because he has that spin attack. That's the whole reason. Oh, he's in jail for financial fraud, the Red Ranger. Okay. I thought he went into porn, but that probably was a joke.
Oh, no worries, Brother Kyle.
Oh, that's okay, Brother Cal. It's all cool. You can still join if you want. You can just open up all the games, you know, start running and finish it up. Doesn't matter when you start.
Yep, not too late for anybody.
Oh.
I myself am looking forward to a future Infinite Mystery stream of this, because we do know that, you know, IM takes part in a lot of these marathons, and, you know, definitely, you know, if IM is willing to you know, put on the marathon still, then most certainly anybody can.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and last time I also joined the Master 8, right? No, the Game Gear G5. There we go. I figured it out. I joined that too, blind, and that's a lot of fun. So if you ever want to, you know, join any other races, be sure to join our Discord. We will have many updates. There's also a schedule of upcoming races and or events we're doing. We have bounties happening. We have certain games that are being speedrun, that are, you know, like challenges that you can join yourself. There's a big community behind it that are 100% willing to help you if you're stuck with a game, if you want to learn a game, or if you just want to know more about Sega or just talk about Sega, you know. Be sure to be there, join us, and join this great community, because I'm very happy that the MEGA16 is here on Sega Crew, so thank you to you guys.
Again, you're too kind. Just to, again, thank you for even, you know, kicking this off with like this fantastic, you know, 16 game race here. Like, I won't go into details like I did at the beginning, but just I've wanted to take part in the MEGA16, and I'm glad that I'm able to in some form here today, you know, being alongside with you. And yeah, again, for others out there, there's so many awesome events like this here that, you know, Mother Brain started, but so others within the crew have going on the Sega Crew channel. So yeah, check it out. There's a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah. So there we go. JKL finishing up the hardest game on the list and moving on to one of my that I'm looking for, because I love racing games, and this is a racing game, so I'm happy. And Micro Machines is great. I mean, Micro Machines on PlayStation 1 is better. Sorry, but it is. But this one is also great. It has like multi-tap, 12-player multiplayer. I mean, that's
holy
awesome.
Cow. That is great.
Yeah, and I did that once because it was like a big event somewhere and somebody had it set up, and that was great. But this one is also very good. It is, I mean, if you have played the NES version, which is an unlicensed game by Codemasters, obviously, it's the same game. But this one is just looks a little better, sounds a little better, moves a little better. But there's no music in the stages. But that's fine. But this is definitely one of those games you gotta play to remember if you want to go for the shortcuts. I did do this goal blind. It took me about like 12 minutes, 13 minutes, so it was not too hard. But, you know, you can save a lot of time if you learn the... Yeah, it was nice. I've never played this version, so I was like, okay, there we go. Easy game. But there are some shortcuts, as you can see, JKL right here. is taking one, going around the waffle so you don't get... Because if you take a shortcut that is not allowed, your car will just explode and you will go back to wherever you left the track. But once you know the lines that don't give you this explosion, basically, you can skip a lot of the track, as you can see here, and, you know, get a very fast time.
Yeah, you're right. Like, you would have had to play this beforehand, because I most certainly would have blown up by now. Like, just trying to follow this path that JKL is taking here. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I also didn't learn the shortcuts, but they save a big bunch, absolutely. On the breakfast bench.
Didn't even see the other cars.
No, they were there for a second, but Zookman in the meantime killing off Cyclopsis as well. Moving on to Micro Machines. Ems, Random, and FedUpG all on good old Bernstein mares. So they're nice and close to each other, so that's good to see. If it weren't for the game overs in Blades of Vengeance, everybody would have been right next to each other. That's how similar these PBs are for most people in these games.
Yeah, so true.
Still no zips though on Bernstein Burst. No zips.
I swear I saw, well, I forget now which racer did it, but I saw them disappear, so at least somebody did a zip. But again, I could have went crazy at that time.
Yeah, no, I'm just fooling. I probably won't. Alright, JK on one of my favorite tracks. It's nice and fast, you can fall off quite easy, but...
Ooh, commentator's curse right there. As soon as you said that, he fell off the track.
Nice. No, I'm kidding. What happens? But yeah, and the funny thing about Micro Machines, it also depends on what opponents you pick, because they all have their own quirks and could be better or worse than the others. But for this goal, which is beat the Q... What is it? What is it called again? The tournament?
The cue ball circuit?
Cue ball circuit, exactly. That's all. So in this case, it doesn't really matter which opponent you pick. But if it would be the full game, you will have to like pick a certain order to make sure like, okay, this guy is bad at this track, this guy is bad at this track, because they all have their own personalities, I think. Oh, Zookman falling off the track there. JKO getting stuck in the glue. And Narblast finishing off Cyclopsis. Oh, he's getting close. Zookman is going very slowly. I'm not so sure why he went for second place there, but maybe there's a trick behind it.
Yeah, like Cyclopsis is down.
Yeah, give me 1 second, please.
All right, so Narblast is moving on to Micro Machines. Yeah, this game, like, for one, what Mother Brain was saying that there's like a multiplayer mode for, I think, the PlayStation version. Oh, I love games like that. Like, if this, I could see this working with the multi-tap for the Genesis too. Well, it'd be cool if it did, but actually, now I think about it, I wonder if this has a split screen or not. I'm not certain, but I could see this easily being a game that I would have played with a group of friends and we'd have a blast. And this looks really cool. Micro Machines here.
Yeah, I don't think these Micro Machines has multiplayer.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Ooh, Zookman falling off the track.
Oh.
Oh,
and again.
Is Zookman doing it on purpose now?
Yeah, it seems like he uses a strat where he wants to finish second place, but I'm not so sure the reason behind it.
I'm wondering, like, at the score screen here, if there's something like you get extra being in first that he's like sort of skipping, you know?
Yeah, maybe it's the animation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think you have like an animation when you win, so maybe he's like skipping that for a couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If I had to guess, maybe it has to do with he might like the other characters he's racing against and doesn't want them to leave. And if you don't come in first, maybe they don't kick one of the other racers out. That would be my guess.
Yeah, that's a good guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Shah, stage 16. Final
Let's
stage
go.
for him.
Let's go. Final stage, Trampoline of Terror.
With the whiz ropes and Bullet Bill.
Oh, what the?
And also on the edge.
Yeah, wow. Oh, there's that Bullet Bill.
Yeah, it's thinking it's safe. I don't blame him. Yikes.
Fetty moving on to Trampoline of Terror.
Yeah, very good.
And Shah finish.
Jumping his way. Nice. Very, very nice. Not too far behind, it seems. Narblast racing his way. Zoogman going to the sands and JKL having a breakfast. The JKL still in the lead, but he has to be careful here because if he makes a little bit of a mistake here, Zoogman is going to take over that first spot because he's right on his heels. Right, Power Rangers here for Shah. That should be nice and easy. A little bit relaxing here. FedUp getting to stage 2. Narblast making his way. It's all looking good for many races here.
Ooh. Oh wait, it's. Oh yeah, I thought Zoog was doing the intentional deaths again, but I think that one wasn't intentional this time. Oh wait, no, maybe it was.
Maybe it was.
Got the second place again. Yeah, I'm very intrigued. I'm gonna write that down so to ask that at the end of the race, like if that's an intentional strat.
All right, JK on the final track. A very fast one. This is definitely one you gotta practice because it's fast. You can fall off very easily or get stuck as he did right at the start. Or fall off, like so. But the goal here is to qualify, so he has to get like second place or better to qualify. Right? Was third place enough? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
But he's already in second place, so he's good to go. Zoogman in the meantime giving a couple of kisses to the orange on the table, but he's good to go again.
Oh, Grant Coon says it's like finishing second skips bonus stages, maybe.
I see. Yeah, that will save a big chunk of time. Yeah.
Oh, and No Diggity said that too. Sorry, I didn't mean to miss that. No Diggity.
Oh. We're so terrible at reading chat.
Yep. Skips the race for 1-ups. Okay.
JKL is just too fast. He will take those 1-ups and still be in the lead.
Oh, I just realized Shah taking a different strat using a different ranger.
Oh, yes? Yeah. Something wrong with Shah. I've never tried the Red Ranger, so I have no idea what his skill set is.
I just saw a bunch of uppercuts.
Okay.
Yep, racing on a pool table, Koopa.
Yes, they are. And there we go.
Yeah.
Take you on to the next game.
Vector Man 2.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't enjoy this game. Let me tell you. It is, I mean, if you compare like the Vector Man games 1 and 2, 1 is just so much better than 2. So much better. This is like a rushed, oh no, we have to make another one, but here it is kind of game. It just repeats a lot of stages. The first stages are very dark. It is not appealing to the eye when you start this game. Vector Man Poo. Yeah,
Vector Man Poo.
But nonetheless, it is still a nice classic. It does have good graphics. It looks nice. And, you know, we already had Vector Man 1. So let's follow it up with number 2. And in this case, it's only beat the fire boss, which is in stage 7. And that's all they have to do. The clouds look nice. Look at those clouds in the background. That looks beautiful.
Yeah, they do look nice. I always thought with like the transformations you could do, if you could just do them on command, I feel like it would just up the fun in Vector Man.
Oh, absolutely. Would have been a pretty good game if you could just press like select and then switch between any transformation you would like. Then I think it would have been a lot better game. And also, you know, just put some lights. I mean, yeah, call it Dark Swamps, but you can add a little lightning here. You know, that's how I feel about this. But other than that, it does have some cool mechanics. I mean, the animations are very cool looking. It's just a lot of blind jumps, and it can make it very hard, because you will see that in the fire stages. These guys will jump all over the place without seeing where they can land, but they've practiced it, so they know where the platforms are. But it can be quite difficult.
And yeah, or being able to save the power ups and use it later instead of just upon collecting them, they're instantly used.
Yeah. Also, contest winner for the menu. I'm still not sure what that means. Was there a contest for this game back in the day?
Oh, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised though. I think there was a lot of like competitions back then for various games. I know like for Spider-Man versus Kingpin for Sega CD, for example, there was like a competition to collect all the comic book covers in that game. Just one example.
That's cool.
They're littered throughout various stages and stuff. So yeah, I would not be surprised if there was a competition for this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, same goes for like Treasure Master for the NES, for example. Is another one. Or the Atari games. Which one was it again? The Sword Quest or whatever? Where you can actually win prizes.
It sounds familiar. I'm not as familiar with that, but that does sound like I think I've heard of that before.
Yeah. So here's the fire stage. It's a little bit like Aladdin's fire stage. I'm giving it too much props here, but there's a lot of blind jumps here. But it's not too crazy. Not too crazy.
It looks pretty. I love the background visual there.
Yeah, I mean the background visuals in this game are fantastic. Like even with the first stage with the clouds and everything, it looks very nice. And also Zoogman into the dark swamps here, not too far behind. Check out making a little bit of tiny mistakes throughout all the stages here, taking some unintentional hits, but yeah, he's fine though. But Zoogman is catching up, so he's gotta watch out. There's the boss.
Oh. Maybe intentional death? Because he just stood there.
Could be, he was in low health, so.
Yeah. Oh, using the double jump, the I don't know what you call it properly, like the rocket exhaust from Vector Man's feet to do damage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good way to kill him. There we go. Scene 8, Orbit Express, and that means time for the next game.
Which is one of my top 3, Dick Tracy.
Oh, yeah, there it is, Dick Tracy. Yoink. No, Narblast on the final race here, it seems, so he's not too far behind. Shah is just killing off Goldar, so his next opponent will be the final boss. And let's see JKL starting up some Dick Tracy. The goal for this is also... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was... go ahead. Go ahead with the goal and I'll speak after.
Okay. So the goal for this one isn't too long. It's a little bit of a repetitive game, and it can get quite tough at the end. So we opted to do a little bit of a shorter goal here. And yeah, let's see how it goes. I mean, it feels a little slow. I mean, when you're playing it, it goes a little fast, but you know, not to have oversaturation for this game. This is just fine, and there'll be a car scene. That's very cool. You'll see when we get there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, for this, I feel like you all picked the goal like really well, just because, for one, like the difficulty. Playing it normally, these bullets can get really insane and crazy, and the kind of dodging you have to do with Dick Tracy's limited mobility, it gets just really wild, and especially for the later stages that, you know, go beyond our goal today. But no, like this was, I think this was definitely one that the balance, you know, picked for the goal was just really well done. In my, you know, just having personal experience with this game.
I see. Yeah, well, we had Faust here, who was the most experienced in this game too.
Mm.
So big thanks to him for having this game in here and for a good goal. But yeah, in this case, it's just beat the brow and also have that bonus stage in there, because the bonus stage is cool. You know, we want to just see that, so we just added that too. You can just shoot whatever you want, but you know, the cool kids will do their best. So let's see who does their best.
Now, I will say the one thing that did annoy me about this game, and it's funny that the NES version had its quirks with shooting too, but you have these stages, as you see here, you saw before on JKL screen, or even on Zugman's screen now, you're shooting all over the place, but then you get to these other stages, he's like, I'm out of bullets. It's like, Dick Tracy, you should have been better prepared, considering you knew what you were going against. You got all these guys just trying to light you up. And you're like, oh, well, I'm going to throw away my gun, or I'm going to run out of bullets again.
Yeah, he even brings like a machine gun or a Tommy gun and a pistol, and then still not enough.
Yep, not enough.
Well, Zugman taking a death.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did remember sending Cody the Japanese version of this game, and he was joking because I sent him a box. Like, is there a dick in the box? And then he opened it up. The first game he sees is Dick Tracy. So he had a good laugh.
Right, another valid point. Yes, all the gun, like he's killing these people. He could pick up at least one of their guns and take it to the next stage, but no. This is like, no, I'm gonna punch it out.
Yeah, right. You would think, like, okay, maybe grab it for ammo, but.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. Here's Itchy, running around, taking a bunch of hits as the stage progresses, which I think is very cool. Like, you fight the boss, there's still enemies going around, and he's just running all over the place, and you gotta kill him. I think that's very cool, clever design.
Mm-hmm. And I think also with the difficulty, the iframe. So as you can see, JKL is sort of just chaining these hits against Itchy here, the boss. But on a higher difficulty, that iframe period of time lasts longer. So you won't be able to just keep them on the screen unless, you know, that duration that longer duration wears off.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Alright, Narblast also on Infectiman 2. Well, again, not too far behind. Shah starting up some good old micro machines very slowly. It seems like he did the wrong setup here. Because it's extremely slow. So he's going to reboot that one. Yeah, and JKL just jumping and shooting and dodging all the bullets. Doing a pretty good job here in 2A.
Ooh.
I mean, taking a death is not too costly at least, but...
Yeah, there are checkpoints at certain points in the level, so I think he was at a checkpoint.
Looks like it. Yeah, I was having some problems finding the correct one, but if you just, that's the one. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Sha. You picked the correct one. You're good to go. Narblast killing the boss shouldn't be too hard. So we can move on to some Dick Tracy as well. Then we have 3 dicks on the screen. Hey.
Hey.
Sha still going slowly. He should just... I mean, he should just load as it is and not change anything. I think he's gonna do that now. Sometimes if you have like a European game, but you want to run it on an American console and or the other way around, it could run very slowly. Like a good example that I know of is Mega Man 5. If you play the NTSC version on a modded European PAL NES, it will just run like 3 times as slow. So, you know, some games just don't work like that.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Some nice dodging from JKL with these bullets here.
Very good.
Ooh, just as I say that, Zoogman taking the death, but I think that may have been a checkpoint again, so it should be okay.
Yeah, I mean, they are actually quite close, or at least Zoogman is getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
Narblast is also really playing well. He, like as I said, like he reset at the first game. No, he reset at the first game, and he's that close. It's just, it's very impressive. Here we go with the car scene. I love this. I love this stage. It's so cool.
I love the music on this stage, or at least I used to. Then you hear it today, and it's like, wow, I sort of remember it differently. But I remember I used to just hum this. Like I could be, you know, going wherever, and I'd have this like song stuck in my head.
Yeah, I should download this on my phone.
But yeah, I do enjoy these stages too, just because you have to get really creative with your dodges. And also just as how JKL is just shooting constantly, it's interesting to see the sort of the difference between JKL's play here and Zoog's. Zoog a little bit more cool. JKL's like, I'm not giving any of these guys a chance to come onto the screen to blast me.
He's just shooting.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that he would take this much ammo into the walking stages, but...
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah, they're neck and neck. That's crazy.
And JKL's health is getting a little low here, but Zoog is doing fine on the health management.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta be careful. Even though he's spamming all those bullets, he's still taking a lot of bullets in his face too. So.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know that JKL loves autoscrollers, so he doesn't. But there we go.
Onto the brow for JKO, who is our goal, our final boss for the goal here. So once he beats the brow, then he has to do the bonus stage right after, and then that will actually complete Rick Tracy's goal. And yeah, Zug right there. Yeah, this is exciting how close they are.
Yeah, it's very close. Yeah. I feel like Zug is getting a little bit better RNG here. Because he is killing the brow a little faster here than JKO.
JKO has some nice chains there. The iframe's wearing off enough. Yep, and JKO moving on to the bonus stage.
Just the bonus stage. And
Zug
Zug
right there. Let's go.
Behind him. But then they go to Echo the Dolphin. I mean, Ariel the Little Mermaid. And beat the game, where a lot of people were playing this. And they were like, wow, this game is so confusing where to go. Until you mention, if you press pause, there's a map. And they were like, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad now.
Echo the Mermaid, exactly. That's what it's called. So yeah, this game is more of a save merman and maids, I guess, in the sea. And I wonder if they will pick Ariel or what's his name again?
King Triton, I believe.
Oh yeah, King Triton, right. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay, Triton for JKO. This is also Blue Sky Software, the same people who made Factor Man 2.
Oh, I did not know.
Right? Maybe I'm saying something wrong. I think so. Let me use Google 1 second.
No, it sounds good to me.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's a thing. Yeah, it is the same.
Okay.
But they also make Jurassic Park and Shadowrun, so hey, that's interesting. Yeah, this I mean, might be a little hard to see who here is in the lead, because I'm not so sure if they're gonna take the same route, but man, this is close.
So the goal in each stage is just to collect the transformer people, we'll call it. They're these little, this like what's on JKL's screen. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then they all fly off into the sea, and there you go. And they move on. But yeah, JKL a little bit in the lead here, it seems like. Yeah, Superman not too far behind, but yeah, kill this guy. And there you go, easy peasy. Onto the haunted ship.
These skeletons look a little crazy.
Yeah.
It reminds me, I don't know, it reminds me of something like out of, Pee Wee Herman's TV show. Or either that, or I think if anybody remembers the old Beetlejuice cartoon. they had like these characters that looked like had the same poses as the skeletons here. I don't know. I'm just
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I've seen that pose too somewhere. I was like trying to think of like where I've seen it before, but I cannot place it really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Let's see what the other people are doing here. Ems and Philip are both on Power Rangers. Well, Ems is at the final boss here. Sha finally getting his racing going. Narblast doing the awesome stage. And Random64 in Trampoline Terror. Yeah, but Zook and Jakio. Very good.
Yep, Random on stage 15, almost done with Trampoline of Terror.
Yeah. Same goes for Narblast. Killing the Brow here. Also not too far behind. Seems like Zook and JKL just tied up. Oh, actually, Zook just took over the lead.
Whoa.
With a full 3 seconds. Seems like he got the better route, but now JKL taking over his because of some error there of the movement of Zook, getting stuck in the corner a bit. JKL taking it over again.
Yeah, the movement does seem like you can get caught on corners pretty easily here. Just watching our runners.
Yeah. Yeah, you can easily mess up and get stuck and lose like 3 seconds because of it. But there we go, JKL killing the Serpent. Zoomin doing a little bit of different strat, but no problem because the bosses are very easy in this game. He misses one head, so he loses some time there, but nothing to worry about really, not with this game at least.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can get a voting in the chat to see what people think who will win, JKL or Zook, or any of the others, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
This level right here, nothing too special. Again, it's just like find the worms, and the worms turn into merman mates, depending on which one it is, and you're good to go. Oh, you hinted him about the event, Raccoon? Nice. Thank you. Okay, JKM still in the lead here. But again, Zookman just one corner away. Not too far. Narblast in the meantime starting up. Ariel as well, buying all the weapons that you need because you gotta shoot some. Moving on, and as you can see, like even though the runners take damage here, it doesn't matter. You have so much health in this game.
Mm-hmm.
You can tank all the damage. So if you want to learn an easy speed run and just remember the routing, then Ariel is the one to go for. Absolutely. Or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Right, shot onto Vector Man 2. Very nice.
Awesome. Yeah, there was a moment there. I thought Zook was going to overtake the lead again, but again, just got caught on those corners. The infamous corners in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like JKL's good to go. Luke taking the lead though, I think. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Took the lead. Now for Cruella. Oh, never mind. That's Cruella.
Ursula.
Sorry, Ursula. Yeah, Ursula. Cruella's from Dalmatians.
Yep. And I think the voice actress of Ursula just passed away recently, so rest in peace to her.
Oh, yeah, rest in peace. Look at that ending screen. Beautiful. Rainbow. You get everything. You get everything. And here it is, the unknown game for many people. It was only broadcasted on a GDQ, was it 2018? Was it 17? I'm not sure. Pussy Shane knows. But yeah, this game is very cool. This is a very unknown, made by the same development team of X-Men, who developed this one by themselves. And a very, very cool how do you say this? It's the word, help.
Wait, what? Repeat that?
Yeah, I didn't even say it because I cannot come up with the word.
Oh.
Like the atmosphere of the game.
Oh, just
moody, I guess. Like, you know, with what you have with, for example, Super Metroid.
Yeah. The I know what you're saying. It's just like that isolation, that isolated feel.
Yeah. Yeah, and the visual style too. But it's very similar. It's like you feel like you get some immersion into the game. You know, you feel like you're doing something, I guess. But it just feels cool. It's like one of those rare occasions where you have this feeling. And this game has this too. Even though it has a little bit of a quirky movement, like it's definitely something you gotta get used to. It is very cool. And once you get the hang of it, this game is a treat. And there are actually a bunch of clips here in this game too. They will use their sort of like a spider web, I guess, they shoot out, and they can swing from left to right. As you can see right here, Zookman doing that to go up something. You can also use that to swing left to right and make some speed. And there are certain parts in the game where you can skip certain sequences or parts to go faster. You can just clip through walls.
Yeah, I call it like a energy grapple kind of thing. It's not quite like a whip because you don't see the character whipping with it. But yeah, you'll see the character grapple onto various points or even swing as you're watching here on
right
there. Screen and now on JKL's screen. But yeah, this again was one of the three that I mentioned, Sega Channel game that I came to know. And yeah, and to your point, just this is a game I wish they could remake today. Like remake, probably up the movement, like to make your character faster in some ways. And I think it could be a hit if they were to re-release it, but just change some elements of it.
Yeah, I think that would be nice too. Yeah, the funny thing is, like with the game that's also coming up, Shadow of the Beast 2, there's actually a remake of this.
Yeah.
Of Shadow of the Beast. And that game is, I think it was like PlayStation 3 only, but that's a pretty cool game. It looks a lot like Apes Odyssey, but it is Shadow of the Beast, and it does have the perks and, you know, the things that Shadow of the Beast is known for. So it's definitely a very cool game. If you like Shadow of the Beast and you've never heard of this, you know, buy PlayStation 3. Get some Shadow of the Beast and play it because it's cool. It's cool. There we go, JKL doing a pixel. I don't know what he's doing, but he zipped through some walls and he's on to the next section. So they're all using these tricks.
Yeah, so normally, you have to unlock there's like these little barriers you'll see, or like stone barriers or doors. But with the again, I'm calling it energy grapple, just as Mother Brain called out, you can clip through the edges and get past some of these barriers. Yeah, like JKL just doing one there. He skipped having to sort of wrap around like what you're seeing here, like him take this energy elevator. That elevator would have been off, but he hit a switch that activated it. And so now, he's just saving some time, taking some shortcuts.
Yep. Yeah, and as Grant Kuhn mentioned here too, they are pixel perfect. It's not like an easy thing you can be like, oh, this sort of like hit here and it should be fine. Some of them are very hard to hit, and these guys are just killing it. So.
One thing to call out, so on JKL's screen, like these platforms he's standing on, that first one recharged his energy. If you, from my understanding with the speed run, if you frame perfect, like jump off the platform as it's activating, you sort of gain like some invincibility, like for, I don't know how long it lasts, but you won't take damage from anything after that. So that's why if you see them jump onto that platform and jump off immediately, it's so that they can get that I guess it's a glitch, to get that invincibility.
That's nice. In the meantime, JKL fighting Swamp Thing here.
The other platform that was there, it helps extend the energy grapple that you have here, because normally it sort of has a short range, but then you get on the other platform, it'll extend the length of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this platform that's on JKL's screen right now, that one extends it. And I think it has I don't know if it's limited use or if limited time, like duration that it's activated, but it can run out.
Interesting. Did not know that.
Mm-hmm. I found that out the hard way. That's how I know. Yeah.
Like,
I just don't know if you say you activate it so many times, or it's just like, for 5 minutes you have it and then it's gone.
oh.
The swinging that you see, there's certain sections. I don't know if you noticed, if the viewers noticed, but there's like on JKL's screen again, that little pyramid that's sort of rotating. It activates the swinging ability, and I think we'll see it on Zook's screen here. When that becomes activated, that's when you can swing on the screen like that.
Right.
And then once you pass certain points, it deactivates and you can't swing anymore. So yeah, now like Zook passed that point and the swinging mechanic is turned off.
JKL trying to skip this door here. A little trouble here, so Zookman has some time to catch up, but in the meantime he's getting hit, but gets that one first try. Very well done. He's getting closer here. JKL could not get that clip, and now Zookman doing the same door here. See how he does. Looks like almost got it there.
Oh, almost.
And there he goes, second try for him.
Still very close to one another.
Absolutely. There goes Zookman first try for that one. Not too far behind JKL. Getting that jump first try. This is tougher than it looks. It looks very easy, but let me tell you, it's not. Mm-hmm. Going down the elevator. Just to, like, maybe 10 seconds behind. I'm gonna get through that ceiling, do another swing, and then get up there. Narblast also starting it up. Very nice.
Awesome. Shot on I've refused to take a gun with me while all my enemies have guns shooting at me level.
Yeah.
I'm tossing grenades and dynamite at them as well.
Yeah, punch is all you need. Alright, JKL is good to go there. Narblast starting it up. You're also going for that clip first try, no problem. Hey, what do you guys in the chat think of this game so far? Because I did read a couple of people at the start like, wow, I'm looking forward to Generations Lost. And I'm curious what you guys think of it. Because I think it's a very cool game. Interesting, sweet, alright. Good. It is good.
Mm-hmm. now on the list of games to run. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, nice. In the meantime, Zook and JKL are extremely close here. Zookman took over a little bit here. It's like 5 seconds in the lead over JKL. But gets that done, no problem. It's a very cool looking scene, this one.
Yeah. Like, you love to see games like this that just... I feel like this is definitely pushing the system here. I wouldn't have known that back in the day, but back in the day, I was playing this, I'm like, whoa, this is amazing, you know? But then now looking back on it, it's just like, wow, this is quite a feat, like this boss fight here.
Well, absolutely. And it still looks amazing, in my opinion. There we go. Boom. JKL also getting in. Yeah, I think, Zookman did get the quick kill there, but... You know, so JKL lost a little bit of time here, but hey, anything can happen. Anything can happen. And Narblast not too far behind, so, you know, if JKL is not too careful, hey, Narblast might take over his spot too.
Oh, Zook.
Yeah, finally found his gun. Oh.
I think Zook might be having a little bit of difficulty with these enemies here. But thankfully has the health regen right there.
Yeah. You tried all the games before quitting, Ron? I see. Yeah, this one is quite difficult for a speedrun. Absolutely true. Okay, here we go. Oh, we got Fed Up and Amst on Micro Machines here. A breakfast for Fed Up and some pool for Amst. Yeah, very cool to see that the top three are all in the same game and all quite close to each other, specifically JK and Zook. These are the final 6 games, or 5 games, sorry. Final 5 games.
Yeah, with the best of them all coming up next.
Yes.
For our top 3 runners.
Yeah. The minecart stage. Oh, I mean, Tasmania. Yeah, that you will see when that minecart stage comes up. Like, it's fast. And I wonder if they will go for those
the warps,
one frame random clips through. Yeah. There we go. Zookman finishing it up. No problem for him. JKL having some problems here at the end, losing a lot of time here. But he's getting through there. The black cat triggering all those things. Not just the best music, the best sound effects too. In Tasmania.
Yeah, every time you jump. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
I feel like the one stage where it works, like the jumping sound effects, is the ice stage. To me, that the ice stage has the best music in the game.
Yeah, I can agree with that. There we go, Zookman starting it up. Getting good RNG with the water fountain, so that's good. Because that's just like random right from the start.
Yep. Yeah, those geysers are evil if you're not careful, which Zook is taking it, I would say, taking it carefully, because you can sort of slip in between them and just fall to your death, fall into a pit.
Yeah, and then it's over.
Yep.
So last minute we did decide to, oh, he actually got one. Wow.
Yep, yep, we got the first warp glitch in the race here.
Very cool. Let's see if JKO can hit it too. No, not for. Oh wait, he just started.
Well, he just started. You can do it. You actually can do it on the first stage, but I don't think it will save a lot of time. and stuff, but it's based on Taz's placement on the Sega logo, I believe, if I recall from the Taz notes. Which shout outs to Truncated and Sonic Star for the Taz, the Taz for Taz.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll see if JKL gets the warp glitch here. This is usually the first one that everybody gets. Nope, he did not get it, unfortunately. Which the thing, even though he didn't get it, there is a chance to make up for, getting it in the later stages. But yeah, right now Zook definitely has a nice bit of a lead. I would say he's like maybe 3 stages ahead at this point.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, absolutely. Tool assisted speedrun. Yeah, that's what TAS stands for.
So Zook has to. He didn't get the warp glitch on this, and is taking essentially the normal route that you would go through the stage, where you deactivate these switches to stop the machine here from processing these robots forward. But he did skip one barrier by just taking that intentional damage.
Yep.
And it allowed him to complete the level fast.
Didn't get that one.
Oh yeah, yep, didn't get that one. And JKL unfortunately didn't get the warp on this level as well. So he's got to play it normally. Yeah.
Now this stage is also a treat because those ice platforms are all random, so you never know what you're gonna get. But luckily you don't die instantly when you fall into the water. But you gotta adjust like yourself all the time here. You gotta be very careful.
Yeah, I think that's thankfully because we're doing the easy difficulty. I think if we were on the other difficulty, I think it's an instant kill if you fall in the water.
Instant kill?
I believe so.
Wow. I never tried any other difficulty than easy for this. Yeah, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, JKL getting to that stage. Let's see if we can get this one. No.
Yeah, see, so he's going to take ideally you want the damage boost off the lasers. He's going to take this meat just to refill his health to make sure for safety, but you take damage from the laser and then power through the little checkpoint barriers here. Because if you just go through the barrier as is, it eats up a lot of health.
Yeah. Narblast moving his way here too into the Swamp Thing stage, or at least, the enemies. Doing pretty good here. Misses that clip, so he's just gonna move around normally. And Sha starting up some Echo the Mermaid.
Echo the Mermaid. That's so good.
Yeah. Another thing with Taz is, like, once you get hit in midair, you just drop down like straight. Like, you cannot adjust yourself, so you're just falling down. So if we would take a hit here with this 3-stage, right when you're jumping towards the other side, you're gonna fall and die.
Yep. It's there's a notorious jump on this jungle stage that JKL, the first jungle stage here that he's on. That you'll take a hit from the rat and just boom, just go to your death.
Yeah. Now, as you can see, the spin, these bosses have no chance. You're invulnerable using the spin, and they will take a hit. When you spin, well, hey, guess who's gonna win? It's Taz.
Yep. So yeah, this stage here, if we were on a higher difficulty, falling in water, instant death. But because we're playing on the difficulty we are for this race, you can damage boost your way to the end on this one. In a later stage, there's a sort of another river stage that has like a waterfall. That one, they'll have to take like an intentional death halfway through just because of the length of it.
Correct. And here we go. This is it. Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's go, Zook.
So as you can see, this is like, you think Turbo Tunnel is hard? No, that's for kids. This is the real challenge right here. And this is all trial and error. Like, you have to, there's no way you can do this like first try. And as you can see, even if you practice, you will die.
So you will most certainly die.
Yeah. So it's a very hard stage. It's just very hard.
This is one of the moments I've been waiting for with this race. I'm so excited right now watching this.
This is the crux of the MEGA16. But it's like sort of a rhythm almost that you have to remember, and then you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. It's a rhythm, and then there's certain areas that repeat. That right there, if you can remember that, I think you're good to go. Like as far as just getting through this level and just remembering that certain parts repeat. So like this part, up once, then down, then up twice here, down, speed up again, and then now this part coming up here is sort of one of the repeat sections that is gonna that same exact pattern returns later. So if you can remember that pattern and that crazy jump that Zoog died on before, then you can get through this stage, no problem. And those parts too, you got to slow down. Like there's little signal lights that tell you like to speed up. You'll see the green light and you'll see a yellow light that indicates to slow down. But that death right there has given JKO the chance to
if he
hold on
knows
to his
it.
lead. If he
See. So far, so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he didn't die there. All right, now it gets a repeat part, as you just said.
But Zoog took a death. And JKO is through. He did
it.
He's got through it.
First try. Nerf not getting him. Now this stage is not really exciting. That's coming up. While Zoogman is struggling here a little bit. This is just like, it's long. You gotta do all these switches and elevators and.
It's long, and I actually, in my personal opinion, I think it's the worst stage in the entire speed run. Primarily because, as you called out, there's these switches here to move these elevators. There's this jump that JKL is about to do here. That there's a checkpoint nearby. If you died, you'd have to repeat this stage. But he skipped the checkpoint. He got that checkpoint, which is cool. But then there's some other jumps coming later. Like, these here. As the elevators are falling, those particularly suck. And then there's some other jumps towards the tail end of the stage that are pretty brutal.
I'm clapping because Zoog made it.
Nice, very nice, Zoog.
And this elevator right here, you gotta jump like 4 times, right?
Yep.
Finally, like, all right, that's great.
Yeah, if you don't get those jumps right, this elevator is just such a time waster.
Yeah. One more. Here we go for JKO. That should be good enough. Nope.
One more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like towards the very bottom, there's like an area of, like, you could say, the black background that gives you an indicator that you'll make it at the top. I think JKO went a little over. I think so. Yeah, it gives him that safety to know that he's going to clear that jump.
Yeah. More of these blind jumps here with these elevators, you just don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly the jump I was talking about. That's one of them.
Yeah, and that's right at the end of the stage too. So that's Zoogman now onto the favorite elevator, has a chance to catch up here.
Yep. And Narblast waiting to start Tasmania, which, again, as each of these racers just jump into Tasmania, I'm just like, yes, let's go. Let's
finally.
Go. Yes.
My favorite game.
It is. This list is phenomenal, but this is the one that I'm just like, oh, memories. And I think back to my childhood and just like, oh man, it's just so good.
Yeah, well, same here. I mean, I didn't own this game, but I rented this game, and I rented it more than once. So, I liked it. So, I don't know. But Zoogman, moving on here to this stage, he took a death there because I think he didn't quite damage boost the way he wanted, but it should be good to go here.
He will have to be careful though, since looking at that screen, I think he's on his last continue here. If he dies, it will be like, lose all his lives. That will be all the continues that he has.
Yeah. Well, I did add final notice that, if you would game over, mainly because of the minecart level, you can use code for level select.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
And if he doesn't know that, if anybody is watching him, please tell him if something like that would happen to any of the races. But I did tag everyone, so I assume that people have read it.
Okay. Zoog fighting this Venus flytrap. There's also these like weed killer bags around that you can use to kill the flytrap, which Zoog just destroyed the weed killer. I think it's faster to use that, like in that it uses more damage, but then at the same time, if you can just spin and step on his head, that's quicker to kill the Venus, the killer plant there.
I see. JKL taking a death right at the finish, so that's not helping. He missed the trigger to end the stage. But he's fine. I mean, he's already at the checkpoint, taking a death. He's good to go. But Zoog is stretching his lead though because of it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, Xiao's finding his way through Ariel, doing pretty good here. Go ahead.
I was going to say that Zoog is on the third to last stage of Tasmania here, so he's got to get through this stage, and then the stage right after this is almost a repeat of the very first. We'll call it Jungle Ruins. I don't know what the stage name actually is, but it's going to be a slight repeat of the first version or iteration of this. So there's going to be a different path that you take to get to the end of that stage.
Mm-hmm. JKL also missing this one here, the random clip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and our blast is also taking this stage the normal way, though, taking those damage boosts through off the lasers to get through the checkpoints, and is about to complete this factory stage. And Shaw, I believe, finished Little Mermaid, as I saw the congratulations screen.
Oh, you saw the nice ending? Nice.
Yep, the rainbow and everything.
Damn, I wanted to see it. So beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Why did he eat the bombs? Because as soon as Taz touches a bomb, he's gonna eat it.
Taz automatically picks up whatever he touches, and in the case with the bombs, you do not want to eat them because they do damage, but you can, if you hold the we'll just say the A button, or whatever the button is to grab, if you hold it, he'll hold on to it instead, and you can actually use it as a projectile, which there's a boss, I think it's like the third stage of this game. You can toss the bomb at the boss and it's like an instant kill.
That's correct. Here we go with the Dark Taz.
Yep, Dark Link does not have anything on Dark Taz, so...
No. I mean, Dark Taz is way harder.
Way harder.
Yeah.
Zoog on the final level now, though.
Yeah, there he goes. There he is. There's the final boss. It's a bird. Definitely not a plane. Yeah, I mean, this final boss is... it's just a joke. I mean, there's no difficulty in this. You can just spin.
Yep, just spin in place. And boom, that's it.
That's it. Taz is over. He must be sad. Cannot play Taz anymore.
Yeah, I am. But I can still watch JKL screen and the rest of our runners to keep Taz alive, at least for a bit until they pass it, and then I'll get over it because we still got the rest of the race. We still got a lot of great games here.
Yeah, we'll be fine. So now we got some shit. Oh,
I was just saying, I'll cry on the inside.
Oh, so I'm sorry. It's okay. We can talk after when the race is over. Just call me.
Thank you.
So here we have Shadow of the Beast 2. Now I like Shadow of the Beast 1 better, and I used to speedrun it, and that level I think has the world record now. Yeah, he does, with like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. We're quite close to each other. Not much improvement possible over that run, unless you want to try. Be my guest. But a lot of people think this one is a lot easier. And yeah, I mean it is. Once you know the route, it's not too difficult as one, and it's just fun. I really like the Shadow of the Beast games, and it's made by Psygnosis, and they made a lot of good games, including also Destruction Derby, for example, and many other games that I just cannot name out of my head. Yeah, this game, you have one life, and once you die, you go back to the start, so you got to be very careful. But you have a lot of life.
I have to say, and forgive me, I don't remember which MEGA16 it was, but one of my highlights was watching you grind the first Shadow of the Beast. Because that game was definitely no joke. And just watching like where you would take damage boosts or so, to get through it. It was a good grind. It was a good watch.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, well, even with like musical notes of like, oh yeah, right now this is gonna happen, and I'm here, and yeah, it's fun to run. I should actually go back to it, but it's gonna be hard to beat that devil's time because, I mean, I could get tied or maybe 1 second faster if I get lucky, but that's about it. There's like a certain thing at the start, but. But Shadow of the Beast 2, it's more of like backtracking, going back and forward, hitting some switches, opening some doors, taking a lot of damage boosts. And then right here, that's sort of like next sequence. Because wasn't it like the Amiga version that like loaded the whole game or something like that?
I think I heard something like that.
Yeah. Faust is a big fan of this game too.
Faust, get in here. It's not too late.
Yeah, you can always join.
You said JKL is finally free from that atrocious game. No, Taz is a game that everyone must play at least once. Everybody,
yeah,
you gotta play Tasmania at least one time.
Yeah, otherwise you're just not alive.
Yeah.
You're not living life to the fullest.
Exactly.
Yeah. We go to Dragon Boss. Nothing too special. Then you hit his one ball sack and you run away. Because that's what you do. Passes Rockin' wait, what? Rocky and Bullwinkle's NES for Sega Genesis? No. Thiago, no.
Hey, I know people who love Rocky and Bullwinkle for NES, so if that's saying that it's a, like in their eyes, it's a fantastic game, then you were right. That is exactly right.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If you look at it that way, exactly, yes. Darkman? No, Darkman is terrible. Nobody likes Darkman.
I didn't even know there was a Genesis Darkman. I know there's one for NES. I didn't know there was a Genesis one.
Well, I'm hoping he was talking about the NES because I also don't know the Genesis one.
Yes, he is talking about NES. Okay.
The title screen looks nice for Darkman. All right, Jake. I'm a little bit confused here. Is JKL now in the lead or Zookman?
I feel like Zook might still be in the lead.
Yeah.
And I'm only basing that on like seeing certain areas that JKL is running through. I feel like I already saw that on Zook's screen.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Awesome.
This
does look more. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just read the chat that Grumpmeister said Tasmania is just misunderstood.
Yes. See, Grump gets it.
Yeah.
Same as like Chakan the Forever Man. It's just, you You gotta. They have their unique charm. They need some. They need some loving too.
Yeah, you just give it some time. Process it, think about it, go back to it, and be like, now I understand. Anyway, Shah here too, also on Generations Lost. Fedep and Emst are on Dick Tracy, so they're making good progress too. Narblast seems like he is already done with the minecart stage. Very well done there. He's playing very well, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have to have much problems. I don't know if he used any continues, but seems like he's good to go. In the meantime, JKL trying to catch that guy, but damn, too late again.
M's on the best level of Dick Tracy.
Yeah, just the no gun.
Oh, that Fetty's on the no gun. M's is on the car level.
Oh, you mean the car level? Okay.
Yeah, the car level. Yep.
It's like the fisting level.
Oh, that's the second best level, we'll say.
Right? Yeah.
Right. Oh, no diggity, still in his quest to get Ed to run Chicane.
Oh, do it. I mean, maybe if you ask JKL nicely, he might even try it again.
Oh, I'll ask him. I'll say, you don't have to play Taz ever again if you run Chicane. I think he'll go for that. He might go for that.
There you go.
I think I spot a certain speedrunner.
Yeah, I smell him. He's here.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
I'm definitely on my phone and watching on my TV.
Oh, that's fine. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yep.
Good. I got my daughter next to me too, and she is pretty enamored with most of what's on the screen.
All right. Well, hello there.
Hello.
So, opinions, everyone. How has it been? Does everyone like the race so far?
Yeah, so far it's good. I mean, 3 people have passed the minecart level in Taz, so we have a race. And considering that some people had to reset Blades of Vengeance because of certain game overs or whatever, it's still a very close race, and that's absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love hearing it.
And Zookman and JKL have been going back and forth all the time. While Zookman is now a little bit in the lead using his ripple, and JKL is not too far behind.
Yeah, no, he is definitely not far behind. Like, about 15 seconds behind him now.
Yeah. To this boss here.
Nice, Zook killed the snake winder.
Was Snakebinder? Is that the official name?
No, it's just what I call it. It's annoying. It takes a lot of damage, though.
And Narblast just finished Tasmania before they
Nice.
left the screen here. So,
Ooh, Zook foregoing the backup potion. He's just going straight into the kill.
Better be careful.
Oh no. Oh no, Zook.
Oh, okay, there we go. Oof.
wow.
That was some butt clench right there, but he's okay. Yeah, this boss can be quite mean.
Yeah, the flame that he emits from the down that thing is dangerous damage.
There we go. All right. JKL also done. Narblast just about to start the game, or at least, a little bit in. Jia almost about to finish up Generations Lost here. And Zookman is going to start the next game. Same goes for JKL. Some good old Kadash. Now for Gadash, it is only reach the gnome village. As this is an RPG, we didn't want to have the goal to beat the game because that will be too long. Even though for this game, it is quite a small RPG because it's more like an action RPG. We still wanted to give it like a reasonable goal, and the gnome village is just about that. So I wonder what characters they will pick. You get a nice name there for JKL.
Diggity said, "Pick Riker."
Riker?
Mixing in some Star Trek here.
I don't know any Star Trek lore. I didn't watch.
Oh, we got an extra commentator here. Here, the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No. It's totally fine.
It's a very smart commentary, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but JKL taking the wizard, and Zook is going with the barbarian. Right? It's barbarian? Wizard? Warrior? Guy? That's a lady, but is it a guy? Lady? I don't know. But this guy with the sword. So there's gonna be like a little bit of a grinding here for a certain level that you need to take. But the grinding isn't too hard in this game either. As you can see, there's a bunch of enemies. You give them one slap, and there you go. You get a lot of experience. So, not too bad.
Way before the grind.
Yeah.
TM. Oh, yeah?
The rope climb animation, yeah, it's good.
I like the damage boost that I saw JKL take.
Yeah, that was a nice one with the over the water that he did.
Yep.
Now, didn't he currently beat the barbarian time with the mage?
I know we had a good time, but I didn't know he beat it.
I thought that's what he was saying in the chat, or unless I misread it.
No, I think you're right. I thought I saw something similar or the same, Faust.
Impressive. In the meantime, Zook is fighting the black pudding here. Doing pretty good. But JKL right now, he has practiced his game and he's good at this, is catching up here a little bit.
Yes, he is. He's making ground.
Yeah. And the poor guy is just being left alone. He's like hurt and bleeding and whatever. We're going to fight the black pudding. Not even talking. So let's see how he does.
Shaw and Generations Lost is having a bit of difficulty getting through this door, trying to clip through. Again, all these clips are frame perfect.
Yeah, shoutouts to Nub Zombie. Nice. Oh, thought he got it.
Yes, he's just one pixel off. See this time, maybe? Nope. Mace is faster, but Zugi did not know when he learned it and it was too late for changing. I see. Well, he has a healthy lead, so he should be fine.
Yeah, JKL is definitely catching up, especially with how far behind he was in Shadow of the Beast 2. There was a very good leg between them in Shadow of the Beast 2, and then near the end he caught up really quick.
Yeah. So Xiao's doing some lockpicking here, it seems like.
Yeah, so the way it works is that like each side aligns with like the 3-button Genesis controller, so you gotta press like A, B, or C at the right time while also holding the D-pad left or right in order to get, these picks inserted properly. There we go, he got it. Now the door should open.
Nice.
A unique concept for a Genesis title.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool ideas in Generations Lost.
Nice. Snar's at my favorite part of Shadow of the Beast 2, the capture scene.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Oh yeah, I remember you explaining it during the reveal, how or I think either in the reveal or just maybe when you were helping the runners learn this route where you said like you can just punch the guy through the door.
Yeah, that's the speed strat. Normally it's like grab a key, or you have to like get the ale from the bar in like that lower area, and then you have to like bribe that guard with the ale, and then he passes out drunk, and then you're supposed to have a key to unlock, or no, I don't think you have a key for yours. I think you break the door that way, and then you have that guy as the prisoner to help you out. But you only need 2, because essentially you're using those 3 prisoners to bait those spikes at the top. So you're sacrificing your own brethren just to survive. But you only need 2 of them.
Cruel.
There we go. Both at the same time at the worm here.
Wow, JKL. Showing them multi-race chops.
Yeah. Let's see who does better here. Is it going to be the wizard or the barbarian? Or oof and ass?
Barbarian took it, but the wizard not too far behind.
Yeah. No, off? Is it off like egg? Is that his name? I'm not sure.
Someone said oof. Like maybe it's oof.
Oof.
Yeah, but I thought it was like the French word for egg, but I could be wrong.
I'm with JKL. Always put the ass.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, JKL might overtake Zoog here. Oh, okay, Zoog got through.
Damage boosting.
No problem. Meantime, Gnar using his ripple to run through the swamp and fighting the worm. There we go. And Zoog gets the silk of the worm. Well. Or,
Zoog,
sorry.
if you can hear us, don't stop.
Yeah, don't stop. Alright, Mechanical Koopa, have a good day.
Hopefully the storm isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Take care, Koopa.
Nice. Snarblast getting that backup potion.
Nice. It's a good idea.
Yeah, good backup strat. Safety strat, I mean.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, especially with this boss, is how he can be. I mean, and just marathon. I mean, it was already
And I'm pretty
enough
sure
that he didn't do it, and that he actually managed to pull through. So, but as I said, like if you die in Shadow of the Beast 2, you do go back all the way to the beginning.
Yep, it's one of those games.
Yeah,
Nice. Almost
Yeah,
full
yeah.
health still.
it was good. On to Kadash. Sha is having some problems here with Generations Lost. I did see him practice and do a lot of these clips, but it's just not happening for him in this stage for him.
That's unfortunately what happens sometimes with those frame perfect tricks.
Yeah. Oh, Sega name for Gnar. All right. Zga.
Another interesting note about Shadow of the Beast 2 is that I'm pretty sure in the Sega CD version, damage output is a little bit different too.
Zoog came over.
Yeah.
Oh no!
That is quite unfortunate. He was so close to the goal too. He was just like maybe 4 screens away.
That is a setback.
That is a setback. Let's hope JKL messes up. No, I mean.
And now Nar might have a chance to surpass Zoog because now he's further than him.
Yep, and using the wizard too, which is apparently the fastest strat, so...
Yeah, you can tell their walking animation is slightly faster, it seems, at least from what I'm seeing. That or maybe I'm just... No, it does seem a little faster than the fighter.
Yeah, I think the fighter actually walks faster, but the attack and AoE damage that the wizard does is just a lot more, and that makes it faster in the long run.
Yeah, that circle of blades magic trick was decimating things when JKL was going through.
Yeah. So here we go. Here's Streets of Rage 3. Not everybody's favorite, but it's still cool. And he's picking my favorite character. What a man. Yeah, this game is, you know, you gotta learn how to do quick heals at the bosses, really. That's where you save the most time. And of course,
loop stations.
Loot stations?
Oh, yeah, you gotta loot the bosses.
Oh, right.
Loop.
Yeah.
So like infinite them.
Exactly. Yeah, I was
So
thinking lose like LEWD.
So what is it that makes people despise this version but they love Bare Knuckle 3? You know, what's the difference?
It's easier.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
This one has the cheap mechanic of that it gets more difficult every stage, but then like I think it's just more health, right, for every enemy, and it just takes forever to kill them.
Yeah, AI is more ramped up and aggressive the further you get, and I'm pretty sure there's like a point where the difficulty scaling like peaks out and it just doesn't lower. It just keeps staying at the same aggressivity.
And that's quite unfortunate. It's just a cheap way to make it harder. It's much like Ninja Gaiden 3 for NES. You know, all the enemies do more damage and that's more. Or why? And the Famicom version doesn't. And let's give limited continues too in the Famicom, you know. But there we go, Zoogman again, killing the Black Pudding. He's back on point. Narblast a little bit in the lead here. And Sha is... Seems like he is past that stage there.
And also, I think just Streets of Rage 3 and Bare Knuckle 3 in general is almost a bit tad too long, in my opinion. There's, I don't know, I just feel like... I felt like they got the length right with Streets of Rage 2. I felt like Streets of Rage 1 was a little short. Streets of Rage 2 I felt was like the perfect length level-wise. And then Streets of Rage 3, it was like fine up until they were like, oh, now there's another leg that you gotta do. Now there's another leg you gotta do. And it's like, okay.
That's enough.
You're like I've raged enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The streets have raged.
Yeah.
It's time to go home now.
So is there anybody else on Tasmania right now?
See.
Because I wonder if anybody... I just want to see the minecart level again. It's such a good level, you know?
It is.
I want to see it.
So Fetty is on Little Mermaid, and Sha, of course, still on Generations Lost. Random is on Vector Man 2.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, looking good. Yeah, it's unfortunate they're not close anymore, but don't worry, because anything can happen. I mean, yeah, we're already at game 15, and after this comes the Three Ninjas, which I know JKO has practiced a lot. But, I mean, anything can happen. Maybe JKO is just not getting the quick kills at the bosses, and Zoogman is just nailing them all, and they'll all be close again, so anything can happen. And Narblast versus Zoogman is also a very interesting race going on right now for second place.
Oh, and Ems, forgive me, I think I missed Ems too. Yeah, Ems being on Little Mermaid as well. So yeah, plenty more tasks to come. Woo, yeah.
Yes. So happy. Yeah, but Ems and Fedep are actually neck and neck. They're not too far from each other. Fedep choose Ariel as the only person, I think. So that's interesting. Random 64 about to be done here.
JKL, Whoop and Shiva.
Yeah, he's doing good, man. He got that stage 1. That was stage 1.
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
That's what I mean with the length in Streets of Rage 3. It's like,
Yeah, you beat so many stages. You're like, that was like stage 6, right? No, that was stage 1. Oh.
It's too big for its britches.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the wrong way to push a console to its limit. Anytime random trying to kill the boss here with just a pea shooter.
Yeah, I see now why they do the jump strat, because you can avoid those projectiles. Oh.
You lose.
Mm.
I like how Vector Man had the beer belly before he exploded
Explodes.
there. Yeah.
Can't tell you how many times I've seen that screen. I'm pretty sure the mother insect too does like a weird like laugh in the background.
Probably. There you go, Zoogman. Doing good. Narblast doing pretty good here. Using that weapon all over the place. Xia is finally getting closer to the end of Generations Lost. He seems a little lost himself, but he's fine.
Sha's in there going, yeah, I lost a generation of my age playing this game.
I get it. KKL's turning up the music, going into the disco. Also, not the best work of Yuzo Koshiro's music. Wait, what's Yuzo Koshiro. Right?
Yuzo, yep. I will say this stage's song is one of the few that I remember from this game. Like, it gets stuck in my head.
Yeah, true. This is like one of the few, but others, like, they're just not as good as Streets of Rage 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And Streets of Rage 4 also has awesome music. It's just 3 that's like, alright, it's a game. But we already had 1 and 2 were already in races, so, And there might be, which is also actually going to happen, a little tease here, but there will be a best of MEGA16 Race with all the best games for one of the next editions of MEGA16. Not exactly telling you which one it's going to be, but there will be a best of, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh, nice.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah. And I believe that Devil is also then going to join again, and Pikachu might be able to join again, so there will be a lot of strong runners then, and that will be very cool. I mean, we already have a lot of strong runners.
Booster, that's what I think. I ain't gonna say it, but that's what I think too. That's my suspicion.
Yeah. Maybe.
It's actually number 9.
When it comes, I can't wait for it. I just hope in my heart I see Taz in there. Maybe Chikan. Maybe.
Taz and Chikan, the best thing, of course.
I mean, we can do a worst of.
Worst of.
Yeah, worst off. Yeah, sure. Why not?
That would be the most challenging one.
Thanks for humoring me. Shane said, "Don't let Cypher on the selection committee." He said, "Don't put me on put me on all the selection committees."
Oh, you go to the wedding, but you're back. Welcome back, Estacacho. I don't know, but welcome back.
Just call him Esta.
Yeah, welcome back, Esta.
Yeah, I'm just one of those fools who always have to pronounce the full name. So,
hey man, someone beat my Adamantium Rage record, so there are people out there that like it, ZG. I know you love it too.
All right, there we go. Zookman finally reached the Gnome Village, and he has become a gnome. And Narblast took over his spot because he is beating up some streets with a lot of rage 3 times. And he's there with Axel.
My man, Nar.
Yeah, he's strong because he had to reset too the first stage, and he's actually doing really well. After that reset, he had a rough start, but Everything else, he did really well.
Zoog is now on the Streets of Rage 3 as well. He died just before Gnome Village in the last game. That's set him back far.
Yeah. So that was a big time loss, unfortunately. Wedding was for like 15 minutes. Was a little Las Vegas like wedding. Just go with the car and there you go. You're married.
Usually, in my experience, weddings are short. It's the reception that stops.
That's true. You get a point. The speedrun Reading, world record life, 80%. Please don't. But there, yeah, okay, here we go. Sha almost done here with Generations Lost. He's getting closer. Oh, as I said that, he falls all the way back down to the beginning of this. Oh, here we go with JKL with my favorite stage. Beating all the walls with different health. And I hope you don't get hit by the truck.
Inevitable. You will get hit by that. Hate it.
It's a silly stage, but...
And I love how they're like, oh, you just got a special to stop him. It's like, you cheapos.
Yeah, it's a little...
I think you can punch it normally too, or at least I always thought this thing is the kangaroo. And then I think you can punch it normally, like do normal attacks.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I could be wrong. It's been a minute since I played. I could be wrong, but I thought I remember just smacking it with the kangaroo's normal attacks.
Oh. Yo, really wants that chicken. There we go. Throwing off all the dudes.
Will admit I like the death animation noise for a lot of these dudes in Streets of Rage 3. I love it.
You're going to time your wedding and submit it to speedrun.com. Verification requires proof of marriage. Yes. I should do the same. It's a Japanese run, so that's it's going to be a different category. Wise words.
Yeah, very wise words.
It's so funny because you can hear you guys talking on the TV, so she's like looking at the TV now, like, what?
That's cute. Yeah, right there you go, Jiggy. I'll throw that tiger off the edge. Good job. Stage 1 clear for an art blast after 10 minutes.
And Chop also finished Generations Lost.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good.
Which means, yes!
Yeah. Can only mean one thing.
Taz time again.
I'm happy.
I hope everyone's happy to see more Taz.
Yeah? I don't see
Booster is. Booster loves this game.
Yeah, I know Shah said something the likes of, if I die too many times at the minecart level, I'm gonna give up. So let's see.
Booster.
Love is the word, yes.
Booster, you do got to come on here once and give your review again of this game.
Yes, please.
Oh, that's a fun toy, love. Cool.
I guess this would be a good time as any. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Whoa, did you see what happened to Shah there? He was between the water, like getting bounced all over the place, and then get lucky to land on top of one. Wow.
Yeah. That is. It feels so good to survive that death. I've done that so many times.
Anyway, Booster Shin, tell me. Oh, sorry.
Well, when we were selecting these games, the Mother Brain was all about Tasmania, and I have never played this version, but I remember Cypherin, Zetox, and Cool Kid playing it at SGDQ. I was like, okay, well, this should be pretty cool. I respect all those guys. So we were trying out all the games and messaging in Discord, and this is what I sent the Mother Brain and Faust after playing it. Tasmania, you guys actually play this crap? Are you sure you aren't thinking Escape from Mars, which is okay, but in comparison to this garbage, is fucking fantastic? If this is the game you are thinking of, just Tasmania, no Escape from Mars, then you guys can decide the goal. I'm not playing this turd again. And I didn't ever play it again.
That was a very good. That was a good day.
So the one with beat the game is the goal.
Oh, and it was very fun to watch Discord blow up with, you know, people talking about this game and possible soft locks and, you know, the warps and where you can and can't, and the whole time I'm just like, this is exactly why I didn't want it on the list. But, you know, I'm also glad that it's why I always want people like the Mother Brain, Cypherin, or Faust, or anyone, Bacon, helping with the selection committee, because, you know, they give a different perspective, and I'm glad Tasmania did make this list because it makes the race more enjoyable. And you know, when we were watching Zug and JKL just going back and forth on Tasmania, and JKL gaining time as Zug was failing in the minecart level, it's like, this is exactly why it's in races like this. You know, it's not supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be fun for everybody, and you know, it was a good call. I'm glad you made it, Mother Brain.
Thank you. It is. I mean, yeah, people were complaining, and I also remember you saying, "See, this is what I mean," in the Discord. We're like complaining about everything, but yeah, I'm also happy it's here, and seems like people are. I'm not sure if they're having a good time, but at least they're playing it. So.
I don't know. I maybe I'm evil, but as I saw people complaining, I just couldn't help but smile. I was enjoying it all.
I think it's good.
Well, and you know, our idea too for Beat the Game was to fill, you know, the start a leaderboard. There's no leaderboard for it on SRC, so we figured, you know, if we could get 8 to 10 people running this game and submitting, then all of a sudden it has a board. But I don't think that quite happened.
No.
It's not too late. It's not too late.
Yeah, no. I mean, they can all submit these runs during this marathon. I mean, there you go. You got like a nice top 8. 7.
Mm-hmm. That's twice as many as some other Genesis boards, and those are good games too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, like Batman Forever. Great game.
Well, and you know, I'm gonna take this second to plug some other Sega Crew happenings. Any speedrunners out there that are looking for a game or wanting to teach a game, we have a new program going on called Master and Apprentice. There's a sign-up sheet on Discord that if you want to teach a game, put on a game on there that you'd like to teach, and if you're wanting to learn a game, get on there and take a look at what masters have put up there and sign up and learn a new speed run, and it should be pretty exciting. We'll put it on Sega Crew, and you will learn. We'll watch you guys in real time learn a speed run.
Yeah, one of the first examples is Faust is willing to teach Batman Forever. Is that right?
Yeah. There was also another few in there. I know Booster put up one too.
I haven't put up anything. I'm actually going to wait to see if I can learn something. Bacon's also enticed me to learn Shinobi 3, so if no one signs up for Shinobi 3, I might do that one. Learn that one.
That's cool. Alright, JKL here at the final, or at least the boss for this goal, Yamato. Or Yamamoto. Yamamoto or Yamato? I cannot see. I always forget. Yamato. Yeah, Yamato. But yeah, Master, I was also thinking about submitting one of those games there too. I think maybe Mamono Hunter Yoko or maybe Shadow of the Beast 1. Yeah, that's cool.
Ooh. Shoot, I might sign up to be the learner for Shadow of the Beast 1.
Okay. Okay. All right, you know what? I'll give it a good thought because, you know, I'm about to move to Japan, so I don't have too much time. But once I'm there, then, you know, I'll start it up and I can teach you.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool. All right, here we go. JKL, final game. 3 Ninjas.
Some of the best music. Another Psygnosis gem.
Yeah, it's another Psygnosis game. That's true. Yeah, this game, you pointed this one out, Faust. And, yeah, I thought at first, like, this game seems quite mediocre. And, you know, I tried it a little bit and watched the speedruns. And I was like, wow, this game is super smooth and awesome and plays it really well. Awesome speed tech. It's just a very good game. And hence the reason why it's the last game.
Come on, Shaw, you got this. I saw it. You got it. Keep going. Shaw, game over.
He's going. Jump. He's like,
yeah.
Nice. JKL going with Tum Tum. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, the jumps on the jungle stage that Shaw's on, you can sort of have a visual cue where to sort of control yourself if, how can I put it? Like that long green tree, or that if you see that in the background, that gives you an indicator that there's ground beneath you. So.
I see, yeah.
So if you can aim for those as you're moving, then you have a good chance to survive.
A good chance.
Yeah, about the 3 Ninjas, I have the Sega CD version of this. It came in like a 2-pack with Hook, you know.
Yeah, the movie pack.
Yeah, the movie pack. I didn't give this enough of a chance. I should, because I love 3 Ninjas. I love the movies. I haven't played this enough. I played Hook more than I did this game.
Hook on the Sega CD is another good one.
It is. It's also, well, now because of Twitch's rules, it's a bit hard to play or stream because of the copyright. Because of the copyright music from the game. Like last time I streamed it, I got flagged and stuff. So
they mute your stream.
Yeah, they muted it like all over the place.
The cool thing about 3 Ninjas, though, like all these guys that have been practicing during this game found a lot of new strats with the
they found
they destroyed like the time that was like a 40-minute something, and I think the world record now is like 11 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, didn't they find like full on like zip clips, like clips that straight up go right to the end of a level?
Yep,
like just straight skipping full levels, and that was never in the run before. And that's another reason why I like events like MEGA16 and the Sega 16 and big, like a bunch of games in one race kind of setting, is because you may think that the run that we're giving up is like the most optimized to date, but then all these runners come out of the woodwork and find something new and just shatter a time in a game that everyone thought couldn't be done before. And it's just a great thing to see. I love that happens almost every single time we do this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's just very cool, and obviously with a lot of talented people like these, but you don't even need to be talented. I mean, I remember in Die Hard that somebody by accident clipped through the wall because the door closed, and all of a sudden the game was broken. You know, so even if you are not familiar with speedruns and you just want to join, you can always find something or just have a lot of fun, because you don't need to be a top runner to have fun in a game like this, or you don't even need to practice. Like I also did a blind run, and I had the time of my life. I mean, you know, just you got to give it a chance, and the community behind this is also very good. As I said before, you know, just go to our Discord if you want to have some more information about how to join these races, or just want to talk about certain games that you really like, specifically Sega related, obviously, because this is a Sega crew. just be sure to get in there, talk about what you want to do. And as Boosie Shane said earlier about the Master Apprentice thing we have going on, you can sign up for this. You can just talk about games. You can talk to Faust. You can talk to me. You can talk to everybody. There's like almost 300 people in there. So be sure to check that out. And in the meantime, let's enjoy Shah while he's doing the minecart level.
Oh yeah, I've been watching.
The noise when you raise it. And yeah, Esta, no one was using the Taz strats for Three Ninjas because the Taz strats were requiring 2 players. So a lot of us just assumed that they were tricks that you could only play off with 2 players, and they just, never attempted to try it. And I think that's what Shah and JKL were doing. I think Shah actually was like, well, I'm going to try the trick in the Taz, but just with 1 player, and it ended up working.
Yeah.
And then he ended up throwing it into like different other places, and it ended up working in different places. That just, like I said, that's another good example of these things, is showing how speedrunning truly is a very community-driven effort, because one person can only do so much, and their perception only limits them to a certain amount of things. You have to open up the doors to other people's perceptions and how they play games in order to get the fully optimized run that all of us at the end of the day truly want as speedrunners to see.
Come on, Shah.
No, Shah has forfeited officially from yours.
Oh, okay.
No.
He already told me, like, when I get to the minecart and I don't get it in Wakati, I'm going to forfeit. And, well, that's what he did, so...
Yep, he went beyond 1 continue, so I respect that. That was great for trying to go beyond the 1.
A+ for trying.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, GG. I mean, he participated. He did well. He got quite far, but the minecart level got the best of him, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. No, did a fantastic job.
Oh, absolutely.
GG, Shah.
Yeah, and shout out to him too. Make sure to follow him. And what we were talking about, he did do or find or tried like all the strats that we see now in Three Ninjas, and I think he still has the world record in Three Ninjas. So and he's a very relaxed streamer to watch. So GG's.
And I think JKL and Shaw were doing races on their own on Three Ninjas, and I think JKL was saying like Shaw was like a beast at the game, because he was like, there are moments where I'm like 30 seconds ahead, and then all of a sudden he's like right there. So it would have been interesting to see his run of Three Ninjas, but
yeah,
and minecart. And minecart.
Yeah, I don't see the problem. Alright, Zugman here. He's obviously a little far behind, so he cannot win. JKL, I don't think he's gonna game over or has to start all over for this game. So it seems like he is good to go for victory here.
Yeah, I don't think he's lost a single life yet.
No.
I thought I saw him die, but I don't recognize this enough. I saw somebody hit him and he just sort of slumped over and then...
Oh, he might have died.
Yeah.
That's usually the animation then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did an intentional death because of a certain checkpoint in this stage.
Oh.
So what does it mean?
And I like how that...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say, I like how the boss for the hospital is the big nurse, because I remember that from the movie there, the scene where she comes in with the needle to give to the grandpa, and he's all like on the phone with them, like, ah.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Cypher?
Oh no, actually, I got a game goal mixed up with this, and so no, it's okay. I dropped it.
Okay.
I was about to say, what does single game victory mean? And I saw that was for NBA Jam, but I thought it was tied to Three Ninjas here. I got them mixed up. So ignore me.
All right. That's what we're doing all the time, so.
Gotta play 3 ninjas, full game, 3 times in a row.
Okay.
Why not? I wouldn't mind. But so Zookman here, also on Yamato. So he actually gained some time. I mean, he's not gonna get close, unfortunately, but he did do really well here in Streets of Rage 3. And JKL zipping all the way up there on that tree, skipping a big portion of the stage. Very, very well done. Bombing that dragon, trying another zip here to go over the tree, no problem. And as you can see, they pause buffer those zips to make it easy, because they have like a 1 frame window, I think, or 2 frame. I'm not so sure. To spin around and then it will zip up. And if you pause, you can just buffer it and make it a lot easier.
There it is. It's a clean trick, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and it looks very cool too. It's not like, you know, sometimes tricks just kind of look ugly, but this one looks cool too, so. And it makes the run even more cool to watch, in my opinion, or at least more enjoyable.
And they actually look like ninjas.
Right? It's crazy.
Like, I can imagine ninjas doing something like that.
Zipping up trees with their spine. Alright. JKL is getting close. Narblast, oh, he's not too far behind. Also the final form here of Yamato. Oh, not the final. He has still 3 to go, but still, he's not too far behind. Just a little bit, like, this is a good example here of how cheap Streets of Rage 3 is when it comes to, like, the length. Like, here's the boss, but you gotta beat him 3 times, and there's no difference. You know, it's like, okay.
And all of his attacks are, like, evasive.
Yeah.
So you...
Yeah. So cheap.
It only gets worse.
Yep. And that's why it stopped right here.
I do like how the bosses react when you take a hit or you get knocked down. They all sort of like just flail their hand to the side. I like that little detail. See if
GG. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, see if Narblast gets knocked down if this last boss in the background does it again. Oh, Bacon says the boss does change. They get access to more moves.
It does? Okay. Well, still, it's cheap. But yeah, GG. You're fine, dude. GG. You did well. And the race was nice. It's just the minecart level.
Oh yeah, you were fantastic, Shaw. It was very, very enjoyable.
Alright, but Zookman also in the final game. GKO taking it home. Fed up G. A little lost here for a generation. But he's good too. There we go. You did it. Narblast also moving on to the full game.
JKL, I think on the last boss fight.
He has a little bit to go.
Oh, a little bit to go? Dang, shows how much I played this game.
I mean, it does look like a final boss fight. Yeah, this
These
This
boulder
was
stages need to die. Not gonna lie.
There we go, TKL. Finished it. It was the final boss, but it was the stage.
Yay!
Finished with fourth place with a time of 2 hours, 41 minutes, and 42 seconds. That's a really fast marathon time. Very well done.
GG JKL.
Yeah, GG, dude. Keep it up for
Did he
GG.
win last year as well?
Yeah, this man is unstoppable.
2 years in a row now.
We'll get him here for a little interview. And we might as well, if it's Shaw, you want to talk a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah, get in here, Shaw.
You're more than welcome. But in the meantime, Nara and Zook are quite close to each other, so this could be interesting. So the race for second place is on.
Ah, the jumping ladder trick. Such a basic speed strat, but makes you feel good
So
when you
good.
do it.
Yeah, exactly. So nice. It's just nice when you can do something like this in the game. Yeah, JKL is ready in general, it seems like so. Can I drag him in too?
Oh yeah.
Alright, let's do it. Bam. It's the winner with a chicken dinner.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, JKL. GG, man, GG. Well done.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was a really rough one, this one. Some really hard competition.
Yeah, it was extremely close for the longest part between you and Zoogman. But then the minecart level happened a little bit, and then
Yeah.
you can't caught it.
Yeah, I had a terrible Tasmania and a terrible Generation Lost, but I knew before those two games that I would be losing time on those two, so my goal was just to be somewhat close to Shugman, because I knew I could make up the time in the final 4 games.
I see.
But I got a little bit sad when he game over there in Kadash, because I felt like I had earned to get back in on top, but then he died, so it felt a little bit bittersweet.
Yeah, it also quite an unfortunate game over for him there. He lost so much time because of it.
Yeah, he was like, I think it was literally the final damage boost before the goal.
Yeah.
And what was funny is that he was ahead of you by like about 15 to 20 seconds, and then you were closing that gap up to about 5-ish seconds in Kadash, and then he died. Like,
Yeah.
he literally, when you came in to that point, he was at the game over screen. On the screen that he just died on, you walked into. It was like, wow, they were literally right there to each other.
Yeah, I knew that on Street of Rage that I had quite some time to gain on him, so I wasn't that worried at that point. But again, it was a little bit sad that he did game over, because it would have been such a way more amazing race if he managed to survive. But I saw that, I think it was Grand Coon in chat that said that he was super nervous and everything, and I think this is this his first race like this?
It is his first MEGA16 at least, but I'm not sure when it comes to multiple races.
Yeah, so like I bet he was super nervous.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, he did great. Like, it's just that the one mess up that really cost him. But other than that, it was strong. Like, I mean, your PBs were tight.
Yeah, it was insane how tight we were.
Very well done. But you know, looking back, and I know your favorite part obviously is the minecart. But you know, what is your favorite part of this race, and what was your least favorite part?
I mean, my favorite part was probably Kadash, just because it was a game that wasn't a full game goal, but I liked it so much that I actually learned the full game during the MEGA16, and that's something that really doesn't happen that often.
No.
So I would say Kadash was probably the best thing about this race.
Awesome.
And worst is just Tasmania.
Really? Why? No, I know why.
That's to me. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably not have been as angry at the game if the goal ended after the minecart level, but oh my god, the full game was just too much punishment.
Well, you did it, man. You never have to play it again. So hey, that's something.
Yeah,
Well,
we were saying earlier, what if I told you didn't have to play it again if you picked up Chakan the Forever Man?
Right.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad game, to be honest.
Ooh.
I think that's actually a good game. Just a
That's
really,
right.
really hard game with some hard tech, but at least the game jumps when it tells it to jump.
That's true.
Then you'll love the speed strats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially with
yeah.
the infinite double jump.
Yeah, I know. I tried to learn that. Was it in the first MEGA16 that game was in?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't do well, but that was also like many years ago.
Yeah. Also, it was a long time ago.
Just get a metronome. That's how I learned it. Somewhat.
Really?
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. We literally pulled up a digital metronome and put it to like there's a certain BPS that they figured out that you can time it to for your tapping, and then it'll just keep doing the jump, the infinite jump.
Huh.
And yeah. It works.
I might have to look into some Chakan speedruns.
Actually, even I wasn't aware of that, so that's cool. I've been doing it off of just the muscle memory.
Yeah, Xanto, Grimshins, and Dagran were telling me that. And if they know anything about it, they know a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, JKL, amazing race, very well done. It was close up until Kadash. I mean, that's just how it was. It was back and forth between you and Zug. So, and unfortunately, Gnarblast, I think if he didn't have the reset at the start of Blade of Vengeance, he would have been close to, guaranteed.
Yeah, I said that to everyone before. Like, I think Gnarblast has a chance to win. The only game he would need to practice more was Street of Rage, but it seems like he did get a decent time in Street of Rage at least. So
yeah, it seems like it. I'm surprised here actually because Gnarblast is not using the pause buffers but still nailing the zips. That's very impressive.
yeah, obviously I'm the pause buffer guy that invented the pause buffer, because at the start Shaw and Gnarblast was doing them without pause buffer, and I was like, wait, why do you not pause it much easier?
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see Gnarblast just flying up. You gain so much time by not pause buffering, but you need to be really good at D-pad movement and have a good D-pad.
That helps.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say one of the most fun things with this MEGA16 was that so many world records was broken. I think like Free Ninjas, Kadash, Berenstain, Bears, I think there was 4, but I can't remember which one the 4th one was.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
Shadow of the Beast 2 also had, well, technically not a new world record because we were playing on easy, but the fastest easy time ever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, there
I made
you
a new
go.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's very cool. And yeah, as Faust earlier said too, this is the beauty about these races. You know, people will find new strats, break old times, or games that have never been played for a very long time, or add new leaderboards, make that happen. You know, make it boom. And yeah, that's what I love about these multiple races too.
Honestly, I think that just means this is the greatest race ever. Maybe 4 new world records from 4 games. That's a quarter of this list. Just new world records. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a really incredible stat for what this kind of event is.
Yeah. I think I have the Free Ninas kickback. I think.
You have it now? Oh, okay. I thought it was Sean.
Yeah, I beat his time with 1 second.
Oh, 1 second. Nice.
Yeah, and then I think Shah has the Berenstein and tied the Shadow of the Beast world record with MSEMS.
Okay.
And then I had having Kadesh as well, the full game. So like it's not only one player that got the world record, but like 3-4 players. I think Narblast had the Free Ninas world record as well at some point.
I see. Also, in the meantime, I have to interrupt you here. Zoogman finished here with his second place with a time of 2 hours and 53 minutes and 35 seconds.
GG.
Zoog. Yeah, that's very well time again. Like again with the unfortunate death in Kadash, still under 3 hours. So that's amazing. That's very good.
Will we be able to pull Zoog in for an interview?
Yeah, if you want to, absolutely. And I want to also thank you, JKL, for making this race happen, or participating in this race. And as usual, always have great input, finding new strats, sharing all the secrets and all the things you find with the community. And you are the undefeated champion of the MEGA16 races. So big applause to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and I hope to see another one in another year.
Oh, absolutely.
Bye everyone, and thanks for watching.
Great job again.
Yeah. Talk to you later. See you.
Yeah. Bye.
And with that, Narblast also finished. Or at least is about to, but he already typed in done here. But yeah, I mean, it's an auto-scroller, so he's going to finish. With a third place of 2 hours and 54 minutes and 58 seconds. So that's only 1 minute and 23 seconds behind of Zoogman's time. So that was quite close there. So still top 3 for him.
GG.
Again, very good. Sub 3 hours with this list is very good time. So GG. GG. So if somebody would like to tag Zoogman, if he wants to come in for chat, please do so. And if he doesn't, that's fine too. And let's see if we can maybe then get Nar in here, because he's also, he's quite famous here in the Sega crew.
Gnarblast.
Gnarblast. Let me just tag him here. Yeah, Random 64 and Ariel, Fed Up G, swinging around trying to get up there with that platform. This is quite a hard jump here to get up this one. I saw Shaw struggle with this one too, but there we go. No problem. Got up there. Taking a death on Taz right before the 1-up. That's quite unfortunate. And Random64 killing one of the easiest bosses. But I think every boss is easy in Echo the Mermaid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a reminder to Cypherin, Monopoly guy.
Yep, I haven't. I still have it. I'm going to look that up.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Do I even want to know?
I'm sorry?
So do I even want to know about this Monopoly guy?
He said,
Oh,
Mother Brain said that the Monopoly guy never had the monocle on his eye. It's one of those. I forget what's the term, but yeah.
yeah, the Mandela effect.
Yeah, I don't think he ever did.
Nope.
I think it's in one of those
In Ace Ventura
special
2.
prank cards, you know? I think there's like one card where it shows him doing some like robber baron stuff. I think that's like the only one. If even that exists.
I see.
But I don't think he'd ever had a monocle.
Right? Oh, no, he doesn't. So.
Yeah.
Well, there is Arpa with the raid.
Oh no! I just say I'm gonna look this up. I'm looking it up.
Oh, okay. Good luck. Don't get shocked. But Narblast, GG man, very nice time with a 2 hour 54 minutes and 58 seconds. If you want to join for some talking, I see Zugi here though, so we're gonna get Zugi first, and then you can join too, Pinar. But thank you for the raid. Great job on the race. But let's get Zugi in here. Jam. Hello Zug. GG.
Zoog!
Zugi.
Zugi.
It's like you want. Oh, thank you. First, I will try some words in English because it's used to talk English. I hope the race was great. I did my best during 14 games.
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate that you had that game over Kadash because you and JKL were neck and neck the whole time. Like it was very, very tense up until that point.
Yes, Gronkun was on my chat. At this time, he said we had 10 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And finally, I think it wasn't a big mistake because it was really it was tight. So it's not too tight.
Yeah, tight. Yeah.
Okay, so I had to take risk at this time.
Yeah, I see. But
so for me, this is not a big mistake.
Yeah, but even with that big mistake, this was like your first multiple game race that you did?
I did some big 20 race.
Okay.
But usually I rush quit. I stop before the end. Okay. So I have some troubles during this.
But
and
nonetheless,
happy to finish this one.
What is your experience with Sega Genesis games in general? Do you played a bunch of them over your life, or is it something new to you?
Oh, it's really something new, I think. I know some games like Micro Machine or NBA Jam because I had Game Gear when I was a child.
Well, I think if this is something new to you, you did incredibly well because a lot of these are some of the toughest Genesis games out there.
Oh, okay, not sure to understand, but thank you.
Yeah, because your race was very good, and also with the PBs, like we said earlier, you had the same time with the best PBs as JKL. So we were expecting a very close race, and you gave us a very close race. So big GG to you. You did great, and as Faust said here, for participating with the MEGA16 with a lot of beat the game goals. with not easy games, yeah, you did great. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we hope that you'll definitely do this again in the future for the next one, or heck, any other event that is going on here. But it was a joy to watch. You put on a good show.
Okay, I don't know for Sushi 2, but perhaps we will see. Okay. Thank you for all people that
Yeah,
support me.
thank you.
I will let you. I will leave now. Thank you for
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, well, thanks again. Big GG again, and enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the people. Cheer them on. There's still a couple of people racing, and yeah, thanks again.
Yes. Thank you. Goodbye.
Take care.
Bye. See you next time. Awesome. So there we go. Those are the 2 champions. Well, there's actually 3 champions because Narblast is still here. So Narblast, if you would like to join, it's all good. You can.
Nar said that they had to do something real quick, but they'll be back to chat.
I see. Okay, well that's fine. In the meantime, Emps actually got past the my favorite level, the minecart, or so he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Yeah, took a death on one of the evil jumps that I mentioned at this part that he's currently on now. But but making the way through. Hopefully, no death here for these next jumps because that will be a game over, I believe. It'll be a game over that they may still have continues, but I don't know where their continue count is at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If he gets through this, it's not too difficult anymore. So let's just hope he does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, I expect one more jump here. If can get within the black there, jump. Well, okay, a little short.
Yeah. Almost. Nope. Not yet. What a fun part.
Yep. This one will be short too.
Just gotta give it there. That might be enough. Nope. Not quite. Maybe this one. Yeah, there's there we go.
All right, here we go. Next few tricky jumps. Nice.
All right, man, it's very nice.
And this part again, damage boost through. Gonna take an intentional death about halfway, but first collecting a checkpoint that's coming up here.
Yep. Yeah, this is like the no-brainer stage. Really, you just like if you want to do this normally, don't just do this.
Yep.
It's stupid.
Yep. Fetty on this part here with these interesting enemies that pretty much follow you through the whole room here, hanging from the little platforms and stuff. Oh, I guess this is a shorter part. Whoa, actually that enemy despawned. All right, never mind.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
There he is. He's back.
Yeah, he was gone for a second though.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like this stage, I can imagine if they were to remake this game, this could be really cool too. Like there's just so many good ideas in Generations Lost. I'm like, please remake this, remake it, make it faster. Give it the same kind of mobility, maybe upgrade it a bit. And yeah, this game could be good. This could be hot.
I agree. I mean, conceptually, it's a very cool game. Like this could be easily be an indie game with what you said, like some improved animations and or speed. But yeah, please, somebody who's listening, maybe from the original X-Men development team, you know, please do it again, but then better.
Yep. Want to call out that M's used the weed killer that I talked about earlier to kill that plant boss. So that was nice to see. Yep.
Oh, I missed it. Darn.
I think it was like 2 shots from the weed killer.
Nice.
You do have to be careful of the weed killer, just like with the bombs. Taz will pick it up and eat it though, and it'll hurt him.
Yeah, he likes to eat everything.
Mm-hmm.
But seems like he's good to go. He's almost done with considerably the worst game on the list.
The greatest game on the list.
Yeah. So, I don't know what JKL was talking about.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. But all is forgiven because JKL did say he might consider playing Chikan the Forever Man, which that'll win me over anytime somebody's like, I'm playing Chikan. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, right? So he's forgiven.
It's a win-win. And he's forgiven. It's a win-win.
Yep. So there was a good example with Ems that he took damage from the bat and he fell down quite a bunch and then he failed a bunch of jumps and he was all the way back to the bottom again. That's, that is Tasmania with vertical stages. One second, I will be right back.
Sounds good. And so looking at random appears to be on our first stage in Generations Lost. So a bit of a ways, but definitely still great progress for this MEGA16 race to be on Generations Lost here. Fetty is in that room that I was initially talking about where you have to fight these guys as they sort of just chase you around the room, and I think you have to kill them in order to activate the airlifts there that he used to cross over and take that elevator into this next room here. This room I forget entirely, but just from watching the racers, I think there's a cat that's moving around in this stage, and you follow it to. It looks like you follow it to sort of like a maze to know where to go. So yeah, he found the cat and now just following it along right here. Ooh. I think Fetty's trying to avoid the lasers there that the cat activates on those platforms. Yeah, trying to get it to move along. I think the other runners, they sort of took the damage on purpose just so to keep the cat moving. M's fighting Dark Taz again. What Dark Link tries to, emulate and copy. But Dark Taz is more sinister, but M's takes out Dark Taz pretty easily here. Making short work.
Dark Taz down again? Good.
Yep. Scary fight.
Yeah, well, it is. Excuse me. I didn't sleep well. There's a heat wave here in the Netherlands, so. But then again, this heat wave is nothing compared to where I'm gonna live, so I just have to get used to it.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
So M's on the final boss here of Tasmania.
Nice. There we go.
And I think Fetty, if I recognize the screen, may have been Generations Lost, and I missed the part of the ending here. But I think this is the end of Generations
Yeah, I think
Lost.
so, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
this is not the game over screen.
Yeah, so job well done to both.
Yep. Very nice. Oh, okay, stop yawning. Shadow of the Beast up next.
Yep, and while we get Shadow of the Beast on M screen, we get some more Tasmania on Fetty's screen.
Yes. Can't get enough of this.
Mm-mm. See here.
Unfortunately, it is now dinner time for the young ones, so GG's again to everyone, and I'm happy this race was a very big success. So have a good night, everyone.
Take care, Faust. Enjoy.
Good night.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I'm curious how, so I, of course, can't hear the audio. I'm curious if this soundtrack is like Shadow of the Beast 1. Like, I really love the music that picks up when you're like doing the long run, like on that I don't know if you call it like a overworld, the top world, you're not in the dungeon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Does
you go left first.
Yeah, you go left first, and then you just are constantly running right, and it like picks up. Does it have music like that in this game?
Some parts, yeah, but I still think the soundtrack of the first one is more booming than this one is.
Okay.
I just think it sets more of the atmosphere in the first one compared to this one. Because I think like the castle music for the first one is just perfect, overhead, what you said, is perfect. Like the cave that you go in first is awesome. There's some very good tunes in the first one. More, or in my opinion, better than this one.
Oh, okay.
Like the Dead Cave song, so good. I need to download that on my phone. Excellent.
Yeah, I like that song too. All right, Fetty, starting up Tasmania here. Let's go.
Oh, he's feeling it. Checking out the control. It's a spicy meatball. He's good to go.
Yeah, for those who are not as familiar with this game, I know we skipped a number of like power-ups and stuff. Like this thing that he's drinking here, I think of that as like some container of water or something. It gives you your health back. The peppers Taz ate, once eating those, allows Taz to shoot fire out of his mouth. Yeah, I think it's limited. I forget how long it lasts, and yeah, as you can see, also Taz can eat pretty much most of the small enemies.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll see Taz do that every now and then. This enemy isn't considered like a small enemy, so you can't eat the big block monsters.
No. But seems like FedUp didn't practice this game, so this might be a problem. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I would say from that jump, this is possibly a blind playthrough, which is, yeah, this should be exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ideally with the geysers, in my opinion, if you can't say land on the center, the dead center of the geyser, you want to land more on the right, because you have a chance of just sort of clipping through the geyser and just fall into your death. If you land on the left of center of the geyser. So you want center or center right to land on it. Which is what sometimes can trigger that bounce effect that you saw earlier, Mother Brain, when I forget who it was, but it looked like they should have died, but then they ended up surviving.
Yeah, it was going back and forth.
Yep. This star power up above Taz, that'll give Taz invincibility.
Yeah.
If he eats that. And this is a shortcut that you can take here. Jumping on that block monster and then going to the left. It's a shortcut that you can take.
No, but FedUp doesn't quite know where to go because it's blind, so he's just eating everything and jumping all over the place, and soon he will realize that he made a mistake by playing this blind. But hey, maybe he's the master of this game, and we will find out.
Yep. I'm still making their way through Shadow of the Beast 2, fighting some crazy green monster here.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good here, actually, in this game.
Now, another question. So I've only primarily know Shadow of the Beast 1 watching, like, say, you run it, the speed runs and stuff. Do you get attack abilities in that game like you do in this, like that ripple and other stuff, or like
in one?
Yeah, in part one, or do you just get no real attacks? Because I remember just like you and whoever just running through most of the levels, taking damage boosts, just sort of like what they're doing now, but with less attacks happening in part one than there are here.
Yeah, in one you only have like the good old punch and the jump kick,
right?
And at the castle, you get like the weird gun just before the auto-scrolling stage.
Okay.
But there's only one specific part that you can use it, and then once you beat the auto-scroller, your gun is gone again. So he's back to kicking.
Okay.
So no real power-ups in the first one, but I don't think it's really needed because like with the second one, there's so many doors you need to break or other things you need to do to make like things happen, where in the first one that doesn't really exist. So you don't really need it.
Okay.
But saying that, the auto-scrolling section in Shadow of the Beast 1 is absolutely terrible because it just doesn't... It looks like a SMUP, but it doesn't play like a SMUP because as soon as you let go of left or right, you're not moving, you know, so it's quite annoying to play. It doesn't feel as smooth as it might look compared to the rest of the game.
Gotcha.
And this is it. But I mean, this is also good. So what happened?
Fetty trying to go down this little descent here. As you fall, there's like bombs in the way, and yeah, if you're not careful, just like what Fetty did this time, picking up the bomb and throwing it out of the way, Taz will eat the bombs as he's going down and just keep losing health. So Fetty lost a life eating one of the bombs along the way.
Yeah, that's a problem. And some of them are hidden behind the scenery too, so this game is quite mean. So you just don't know. And then, oh, there's a bomb. Uh-oh.
Oh, was that game over on Shadow of the Beast 2?
Yeah, that was a game over. Yeah, that's quite unfortunate for Emst. Not sure what's happening now. Will he continue? Seems like it. I don't see any DNF, so maybe he's just taking a little break here. He's like, game over. Might as well take some water.
Yeah.
Because especially with this heat, guys, if you also have a heat wave or it's just warm, you know, take a little break just like I did. Get some water, you know, sweat it off a little bit so you don't get dehydrated. Very important.
Well, actually, that's a good call. I need some water myself. Let me take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. All right. I mean, FedUp is doing pretty good here for a blind task playthrough. I mean, I can tell you, I did considerably worse when I played this for the first time, so pretty good. Let's see how he handles this boss. Not sure if he knows that it's a boss, but he almost, come on, you can eat it. There you go. You get that invulnerability. That is get the boss, and it should be good to go. There you go. Very nice. So did Ems give up, or what's happening? Oh, no, there he is. He's back. Trying it again. It seems like Random is playing. Yeah, I also thought like maybe it's paused or bugged, but no. Random 64 doing seems like Generation Lost Blind, if I have to guess. Let's rate Fede. What's his username? Fede? Yes. What is it? Wait, I have it somewhere. FedUpG. I think it says FedUpG. Yeah, this is FedUpG. Just as it shows here on the screen is his Twitch handle. So we have a DNF of Ems. Well, hey, I mean, you did great, dude. Don't forget to forfeit though, if you really want to forfeit on racetime.gg, otherwise you will have like a time of 24 hours. Not that it matters as much, but just letting you know. But well done. You got through Taz. You win. that's how it works, right? So GG, man. And as I said, like this is exactly what we mean. Like if you want to join the race, you just want to have some fun, but at the end, for whatever reason, you can't make it, or you don't feel like it, or your time is running out, maybe you have like a limit of time to join, you can always join. It doesn't matter if you finish or not. It's just about the participation, being there with the community, and maybe you'll be like, well, next time I'll show them that I can win, so you can motivate yourself a little bit. So always, if you feel like joining but you don't think you're good enough, that's not a reason. You're good enough. Just do it in your own way, have a little fun, get with the community, and there we go.
Thank you for the raid, Sam. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but I'm impressed by FedUpG's capabilities of playing Taz. I mean, he's doing pretty good. He's a natural. Yeah, it's definitely Random 64 doing it blind. And Generation Lost is an amazing game to play blind. Because it will get you into the game. But as I said earlier, like it's it's obviously not the same quality game, but it just gives you that feeling of if you would play Super Metroid for the first time. You know, you get that sense of being lost, you're not quite sure what kind of world you're in, but then you discover this and that. Obviously, this is not an open world, but it still has that atmospheric, dread to it, even though nothing is happening. And that makes this game very cool. It's just a unique concept, and I'm happy it's on this race. It's a very cool game.
All right, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
So Ems has forfeited the race.
Oh, okay. GG to Ems.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're just the Narblast should be back pretty soon as well. We can give him his talk, because I'm very curious what he has to say about his race.
Yeah,
Meantime,
definitely.
we have...
I was gonna say, just definitely a great comeback again, as you have called out. You know, having game overed on Blades of Vengeance, and then getting his placing that he got. That's very impressive.
Absolutely, yeah. Still finishing within 3 hours is very good. And I'm also was talking about how impressed I am by FedMG's ability to play this game blind, because he's doing really well. He might have watched the video, but I don't think so. And like many of his jumps, he doesn't quite know where to go, but he's doing good. I mean, that's gonna stop obviously when he hits the minecart level, but right now he's doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I also want to give a quick shout out to you, Cypherin, for help me co-commentate during this race. And,
oh, no problem. Again, I'm glad to finally be able to take some part in the MEGA16, and hopefully, in the future, like I said, I have the opportunity to run in the race. And even whether, it's with practice, most likely it'll be a little hard for me because of work, but just even doing it, just to play it for fun, like Infinite Mystery style. So
yeah, and that is nice, because I also didn't have enough time to practice. That's because of work. That's why I'm here also with you. But for example, like the 5G with the Game Gear, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna do it Infinite Mystery style. Just do it blind, and I had the time of my whole life. That was a very good experience.
Yeah, I love doing that too. So yeah, hopefully the next one, I would love to take part. I've been wanting to for a while. Just
yeah, that'll be nice.
life getting in the way, but we're gonna figure something out.
Yeah, it's all right. Sometimes life gets the best of you, and and
Whoa.
not really, because you're just doing good things. So, What happened?
The clip that Random did through the door, I don't think I've seen any of the other racers do that. Maybe it's a different section, and I'm getting it mixed up, but he just jumped, shot his projectile out of his hand, and clipped through the door. Whereas I kept seeing everybody else sort of do the grapple towards the ceiling and try to clip through.
Maybe somebody should actually clip that, because again, he's playing this blind, so he didn't do that on purpose.
Wait, Random playing Generations Lost. I'm referring to Generations Lost.
Yeah, I don't think he's practiced this, so I can't imagine he was like, all right, let's clip through that door. Like,
oh yeah, please then, if somebody could clip that.
That could be a new tech. Or at least I think he's playing it blind. I mean, I'm saying this, but I can check this. Somewhere. Let's see here. Random. Yeah, he didn't really submit a time for this. I'm not so sure, but I think he is. Yeah, when it comes to FedUp G, he practiced up until aerial, so everything else is new territory for him.
Yeah, this factory stage casually is it's very rough.
Yeah, and this one is not easy. But he's doing good. I mean, he died a couple of times, but it's not like he's doing the worst.
Mm-hmm.
My first playthrough was way worse than that he is doing, so...
Shane coming through with the clip. Let me check this out. Wait, it says, whoops, something went wrong.
Yeah, somehow because of the dash in the URL, it just cancels it. So I think if you just copy it, yeah, then it just works. Nope, never mind. It doesn't. The hell? Why did you do this, Booster? Are you just teasing us here with a clip? Like, here it is? No. Yeah, what the hell, Twitch?
That's all right. I'm gonna make note about 4 hours, say 4 hours, 25 minutes, somewhere between there. 4 hours, 25, 4 hours, 30 minutes.
3 hours, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I saw Random try to do it again. They just jumped and well, not just now, but at another door, they tried to jump and just shoot and see if they clipped through, but it didn't happen. So they ended up doing the lock picking exercise.
Very interesting. Uh-oh, ice level for FedUp.
Oh boy.
You know what that means? He's getting closer to the minecart level.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's not posting the full link. I see. So does the clip though exist on the channel? Because if it is, then you know it's fine.
Yep, I actually see the clip on the channel. I'm checking it really quick.
Awesome.
Yep, that's it. That clip definitely has it. Good job, Shane.
Nice. I'm gonna check that out after the race. Curious. What is a double hyphen? Yeah, see, that's what I thought too. It just messes up the link a little bit. Because the other hyphen is also thicker than the other one, so I don't know what happened. Oh, there we go. Random got that jump finally. All right. Yeah, it'd be thick.
Here comes the jump on the little ice platforms here.
Yeah, this part is it's such a mess.
It has that Mario 64 effect too. Like you fall into in Mario 64, you fall into the lava, and it's like I can't get out of the lava. You keep bouncing up and down. And here you fall into. Yep, here we go. You fall into the water. Okay, good. You landed on the platform. Oops.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. It is. You just keep on going out. Like, how do I get out? And then you die. And then you hear because Bowser's laughing.
Right.
In Dash, you just hear bow, boom, because of your jumps. But hey, that's okay. But there we go. He managed to get through, or at least almost. Just move to the right. You're fine. You're fine.
That actually, I wonder if they know that platform that just sunk into the water. It actually leads to like a secret cave that has like lives and continues and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if that's exactly why this level has 2 exits, but yeah, if you sink in with that platform, it takes you underneath the water there. You can get an extra life and continue.
So that's why it has 2 exits.
I think so.
Okay, now I understand that mystery. Okay. No, well, it seems like Random 64 isn't fully blind though, because he is trying to do this setup. So he has been sneak peeking a little bit in the tricks. Okay, all right. I don't blame him.
I would say in Taz, this stage is probably so we know the minecart stage is rough, but I say in terms of just difficulty, this is probably the second hardest stage, just because of the blind jumps.
Yeah, I agree, and there's also so many enemies in this too, with those little rats. But as you said before, like thank goodness for the background trees. So you sort of know where you can land, but... But again, I'm still very impressed with Philip's playthrough here. I believe this is blind, because there's nothing that I can tell, like, oh, he knows about this or anything.
Ooh, and that's the jump right there. I briefly spoke on it earlier, but that jump right there is very evil, just as how he spun through the platform, didn't quite reach it to get, to land on top of it. And yeah, just sort of went right into the pit. But the bush rats there, if they hit you too, can sort of drop you into the pit as well, right on that particular jump that Fetty died on.
Yeah.
And they're so annoying. They like stay on you. They just won't leave you alone.
Those rats are mean.
Good jump and spin there. Betty said, "I'm not having it." Took out the rat and that other obstacle, but right at the end, good. Right at the end of the stage,
he's making it. There we go. Still a little confused what he's trying to do here. Go to the right.
Go to the right. Yeah.
There you go.
Was like second guessing, like I should go back and kill all the enemies. Like, no, just finish the level. Just finish it.
Want to get some points.
Ooh, enemy just sort of jumped out of the ceiling out of nowhere and took random out.
Yeah, it's this stage, and he might not know about the, if you get hit, you fall straight down. So this might be a problem.
Mm.
Yeah, so we did wanted to have Narblast here, but Narblast had to do something, but he hasn't returned yet. So we are running out of time here to give him an interview as well. And we have our two final runners here, but we are gonna raid one of these bad boys right now, so we can follow them there and make sure to cheer them on as well, of course, as these guys will probably not give up until they finish, knowing Random and FedUpG, they have done multiple races in the past, also blind or with not a lot of practice, and they kept on going like 12 hours, 14 hours, the infinite mystery level kind of gameplay here. And so that's what we're gonna do.
Sounds good. Sounds good. This has been an awesome race, and thank you to everybody who tuned in with us here.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out. And the Mother Brain and Cyphrin, thank you so much for giving us this, killer insight and great commentary to this one of the best races I've seen. Some of those parts were just edge of your seat action. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. And I just want to say this. I already said this like in the middle of the race, but it's a nice opportunity to do so. That I want to give you guys again another shout out, because I'm just a pleb here sitting in the Netherlands, making up a bunch of races and hoping that it will be fun. And I'm just very pleased that it is much accepted, especially in this Sega Crew community, that the MEGA16 can live on forever on an awesome Sega community as this. So thank you.
Well, we love having you, and that's what the Sega Crew is all about. We just, want to be a clubhouse for Sega fans. It doesn't even need to be your favorite console, but we'd love to have you, and we're always trying to do something. We got Sega Ween coming up here in a couple of months, and, hope to see everyone out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wish I could submit something for Sega Ween, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But it's fine. And there we go. No diggity. With the Discord, make sure to follow that Discord. There's the Twitter too. Follow all those things if you are interested and you like this race right here. There's gonna be more like this in the future. There's like also the Sega 8. What is it called again?
Yeah, the Sega 8 will be the next race. It'll be 8 games, and so it's it's a little more of a sprint compared to this race, which is more of a marathon. So, if this looks like it might be up your alley, it's kind of a good one to get started with, and then you can build up your confidence to play in the next MEGA16, which will come next year. We got to have number 8.
Yes, that'll be awesome. And it's going to be there. It's going to be special.
Thanks. Well, thank you so much for everybody for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And go Sega.
Go Sega.
Go Sega. Okay. I was like, are we still live? But I saw the chat change. So.
Yeah, it has that countdown. I think it was like 35 seconds. I should have pushed that earlier.
All right.
No, this has been great. Again,